Good afternoon, evening, morning, wherever the fuck you are in the world. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is well. Don't know where you are, but it's good to have everyone here. We haven't done a stream like this in a long time, but we're kind of replacing In the Wall tonight because Bob's just an absolute piece of shit because he didn't want to do it tonight. I'm only joking. I love Bob. He's a bit unwell, so get well soon, Bob. And hopefully we can give some kind of forms of In the Wall tonight, not to the levels of what Bob can usually give us, but we'll try our best. We've got Stel here, so it's all right. Everyone,
you can't swear in the first 2 minutes under the new algorithm, and you already trashed the show. Like already trashed it.
The show, Daddy.
It's fine.
Start again. Cut it and go again.
It's fine. No problem.
Come on, nobody's watching anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Kuba's right. It's not a problem. But yeah, how's everyone doing? Ben, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm alive. I've had a rough couple of days with my idiotic ankle, spraying it because I'm an idiot. And yeah, now we're chilling with you, delinquents. So it's going to be absolutely brilliant. And we're going to have a fun time.
I love it. How are you, Ryan?
All good. Just got back from work, had a bit of supper. Time to enjoy the show. Pleasure to be on. Obviously, it's my channel as well. So, of course, I'm going to come on. Great to be with a bunch of arseholes as you five are, and I'm sure.
Nice. Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. Yeah, nice.
Cheers, Ryan.
Well, Kuba's hair is like his arsehole, so it's not much.
Oh, brilliant. Love it. It's nice to have you on again, Ryan. It's been a while, man. We haven't done anything for a while. But yeah, it's good. Iggy, my Italian brother, how are you doing?
I was all right till I started coming on here. I was actually having quite a pleasant night, and then I decided to completely F it all up by coming on here.
That's good to hear, though. It's good to hear.
I was trying not to sweat, but then again, it's already been done. So
Mate, when I'm on a stream, it's never going to happen.
No, I'm good, guys. I hope you're all well. Big up everyone in the chat as well.
Yeah, big up. We'll get Ben. We can go through some people in a minute. But Stel and Kuva, how are you boys?
Yeah.
How are you boys?
Right. Still got my passport. They haven't kicked me out the country. I'm allowed to stay for another couple of months, so I'm doing all right. And also, I've asked Kuva if he can lend me some of his hair because I didn't actually know Kuva could grow hair, but he has. So I want some of that fluff because I'm, lacking.
Yes.
I got pissed and fell on the floor. It's just fluff.
Oh, that's weird. We know how Kuva is tonight, so yeah. Love it.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to say something like hip, like I'm high on life tonight, but no, it's painkillers and Lemsips. I'm fucking buzzing, mate.
and the thought of Eric Dier getting a 3-year contract, right? We're all happy about it.
Is that actually going to happen?
Southgate stays.
Southgate,
he's going to bring it home.
Dier on the way.
He's going to bring it home.
Speaking of which,
go on, Benjamin. Get through some. See who's in the chat tonight.
Big up to everyone in the chat. We've missed so many chats, so I'm just going to go through them. So big up to Chris Hagenbar, Bob Spur, Elias, KPV. Who's this dickhead? Big up Sean, Pyrex King. Big up Wolvesy, Graham, Paddy, Steak, Andrew Gregory, Mick, Zach Robinson, and all the rest of you delinquents in the chat. Hopefully you're all doing brilliantly. Yeah, it's going to be a laugh. What's happened this week?
Well, we've got a World Cup final tomorrow, so that's going to be interesting. What's people's thoughts on the World Cup final? We might as well talk a little bit about this first, get this out of the way so we can get into the real shit we want to talk about. Because no one gives a shit about it, really.
I've got loads on that. Who's in it again?
Albania and I think Montenegro.
Malta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Luxembourg, right? Luxembourg.
Italy.
That's it, Luxembourg. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Italy in
Italy.
the
That's
front.
it. Italy in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it ain't fucking England, that's for sure.
Yeah, I never thought it would be England. Bloody hell. The way they are.
Or Italy.
It's all right. We've won it 4 times. We'll get it with someone else. Have a crack at it.
Yeah.
66 and counting, by the way. Just saying.
Bit impolite not to turn up though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we refuse Russia and we refuse Qatar. We'll be back for the next one.
Fair play.
I mean, what we've shown here is Italy is the foremost nation in all of humanity.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lovers,
And
not
I've
fighters.
boycotted both of those as well, so I'm sort of
Absolutely.
Italian by morals only.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There you go. See? Don't like showing off or anything about it, but you know.
Yeah.
Needs must. We backed it. We said we
I
wouldn't
said
go, we didn't.
I said Argentina from the get-go.
Yeah,
So
That
did
was my
I.
bet.
I did as well.
Even when they lost to Saudi Arabia, I said, look, that shit happens. And I still fully expect Argentina to win it. Although, like most games, I don't think we're going to be impressed by Argentina. They haven't been this amazing team. They haven't, but they're getting the job done. And I think come tomorrow, somehow the Argentinians will lift it and Messi will be the GOAT. That's what I believe.
To
I
be
hope
honest
so.
with you, for all real football fans, obviously, unless you know you're French or a France supporter, I think it's only right that Messi. I think every Messi fan wants to see him lift that World Cup tomorrow, even if you're not necessarily an Argentina fan. I think the guy's done more than enough in his entire career to finally lift up that trophy. And let's hope he does, because he's already had a failed attempt. So hopefully tomorrow is the one that is, the one that brings it home.
I hope so too. I think with Messi, it's like it would be a fitting end to his probably international career to kind of go on.
It's his last game, isn't it? It's his last.
Go on and finally win the pinnacle of football, and especially in Argentina, they'll probably put him on the same pedestal as they would Maradona because of what he's achieved. And people could compare and say Messi's obviously, in terms of stats and trophies he's won far more than Maradona won. Not to take away the player Maradona was, but also Messi would have won every title possible with Argentina if he goes and wins the World Cup tomorrow, whereas Maradona didn't win the Copa America. So it's going to be a big debate between who is the GOAT out of them two. Some people will prefer of how Maradona was, but I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, in terms of the two, do you think Messi will be put on that pedestal as the same elite level of player that Maradona
He'll be talked
is?
about in the same breath as Pele.
Yeah,
in the same breath as
100%, 100%,
for sure. But I see, but me personally, rather than compare, better than Pele, better than Maradona, you got to understand, like, Pele was the best of his generation in the 60s and 70s. Then Maradona was the best of that generation of the 80s, arguably probably early 90s, even though he was already like on the downhill spout for the reasons that we know and the problems that he had off the pitch. And then obviously the 90s onwards, you had the Ronaldinho's, Messi's, and obviously Ronaldo has to both Ronaldos have to
Zidane,
be in that
Zidane
as well.
Also,
But obviously,
Paul Gascoigne, Vinny Samways, Steve Sedgley,
2 decades.
Paolo Tramezzani.
You got to think Messi's been playing since early 2000s, and now we're now in 2022. That's more than 20 years that this guy has pretty much been in the game
at the top.
At the top. So I think decades and then generations. I think this one here is undoubtedly, if Messi wins tomorrow, I think that will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I agree.
Was Messi still 15 when he made his Barcelona debut? He was bloody young.
He was young. It was something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. He was really young.
He's young. So how fortunate though to have seen all these players that we just mentioned. To have, I mean, and some of them obviously younger, didn't get to see, but I'm old enough to. Maybe not Pele. I miss Pele's, but Maradona's I remember very, very vividly and onwards. To see these fantastic players, man. Honestly, is incredible.
Do you know there's other top players that I think are just as good, but will never be classed at that level. Like Kaká, Luka Modric. I think Luka Modric, when you think about it, what
He's
a
not
player
retiring,
he
by
has
the way.
been.
He's gonna stay on. He's
But
staying on for the Nations League as well. So
what more can he do? What more can he do as a player? He's won Ballon d'Or, he's won
Yeah.
titles, he's won European Cups, he's won.
Come back to Tottenham and win a
Win
Carabao
something, yeah.
break that curse.
Don't be so stupid, Ben.
the Modric you see today, wasn't the Modric you saw at Tottenham. At Tottenham, he showed signs of just of a great.
Well, he was
player.
quality at Tottenham.
He was quality already. It
Not
was
best
already
player.
there. But what he went on, not
Mm.
just on a level of achievements, but also him as a player, how he developed over the years has been incredible. And you know what I found incredible even about this World Cup is just how many minutes Modric put. You know, and how well he performed. He played like 2 or 3 extra times, and he was never a player that was ever fatigued. He was always at the top of his game throughout every minute of the tournament. And at 37, 38 is astonishing, given the position that he covers as well. Incredible,
Iggy, I think this is the best World Cup I've seen Messi perform at, in my honest opinion. In the ones, I think he's underperformed in the other couple that he's been in. I think this is the one where he's really kind of. It's like he knows this is his last chance, and he knows this is where he's got to give everything he can to really try and go for it. And
do you know what I find? Now. What I find that say with Diego was a fantastic character as well as leader. He was able to push even when the team wasn't great around him. He was still managed to drag them all with him. With Messi, he needed the collaboration of his team for him to make the difference. And I think against the Argentina that you saw against Saudi Arabia, they weren't quite balanced. And I think as the tournament went on, the team, I don't know what, something changed within the spirit of the team, and they started to become more gelled. And all of a sudden say, look, we need to do our bit here to allow Messi to shine. And I think, you know, defensively, they became a lot tighter. Midfield, they became a lot more fluid. And I think once they start getting rid of players like Di Maria, Papu Gomez, and they got that balance in midfield right and the wing backs, Messi was then moved away from the right wing and played up front with Alvarez, who took over Martinez. So all these little changes that happened right from the Saudi Arabia game meant that now they're in a really good position to go and win it. But look, France are no mugs, man. They're world champions who have made another final. Potentially, this could be their third.
England should have beaten France, man.
This could
be France's third World Cup in 24 years. These teams that we've spoken about, Brazil, Italy, Germany, that's taken hundreds of years to get to 4 and 5. These guys could be on the third World Cup in 24 years. That's incredible, man. Even for France to even be there, and they can do it as well. You know,
I think they will.
They're a good side. And no Pogba, no Benzema.
They've got so many players out. Like Kyriacou out.
I was just about to get to that. They're fucked. Yeah. There's a lot of players. They're like they've got I don't know, flu, COVID. I don't know what it is. It reminds me of that Ronaldo 1998 when he was ill on the morning of the game. And will he play? Will he not play? And a similar sort of thing is happening around France, where all of a sudden they can have like half a team out of the final tomorrow.
Do you know
due to illness.
So I'll be honest with you. I want Argentina to win, but I've just got this bad feeling France going. I don't want France to win. I want Argentina to win, but I got a bad feeling France is just going to do it. Just because if you look at the way Argentina have to play against France tomorrow, because they're not going to physically outmatch them, because France are a much more physical team than Argentina are. I think Argentina have got to be at their best in terms of shithousery and playing their football. They have to play better than them in terms of technically. And if they don't do that, they're not going to beat France. They've got to be at the top of their game in every aspect tomorrow. Otherwise, I think France will do it. And I just got this funny feeling they are going to just get over the line.
They're a good side. And for those in the chat that are saying that England should have been there, including Stowe as well, well, that's just purely down to Southgate. As to if England are not there, it comes down to him. Sorry, man. I know. It upsets to say it. I've said this the last time. and I'll continue to say it. So when I hear tonight that Southgate is staying on for the Euros, mate, that I don't know what the FA are doing to give this guy another attempt, a fourth attempt. This is going to be.
I think that's great news, just in case Conte does walk out.
Yeah. For Spurs, it's definitely
from a
definitely,
Spurs point of view.
Yeah, definitely, because he was on their list.
But the problem is now Pochettino is going to be linked with the Tottenham job for the next 2 fucking years.
Oh yeah.
Every single day, it's going to be Pochettino to Spurs, Pochettino to Spurs, Pochettino to Spurs.
I prefer that.
We're not writing ahead. We're not writing ahead.
Yeah.
We're not writing ahead.
Can't take
Say
it.
things like that. Pochettino. When you've got a manager that's clearly in place, he's got a job to do. He's still our current manager. To disrespect somebody that's currently at the Spurs manager's post and mentioning someone else who isn't there that's been there already, I think it's wrong.
Do you know what gobsmacks me with this whole Conte thing? Right,
Go on.
You just look at what's happening at Arsenal, and the season's far from done, but there's no doubt that they are ticking. Okay, you look at the patience they showed Arteta. You look at the money they spent over 3 years, and you begin to see potentially the rewards of those fruits. And yet Conte, 1 year in, one transfer window, half the money spent that Arteta's had, and sections of our fans want him out. And you think, for fuck's sakes, can't we just get behind one manager for 3 years? And then there's always an excuse like, but he hasn't signed a contract. Why would he? Why would he? Look what's happened to all the other managers. Any manager with sense doesn't sign a contract unless he knows for sure he's going to be properly back.
Well, do you know what, Stel?
I don't get it. Like, Kuba's the only exception, because Kuba from day one.
After Arteta's first season,
Kuba's the only exception because he never wanted Conte from day one.
On his first full season during the COVID year, Arteta and Arsenal, I believe, were 16th in the league or 17th, 1 point above the relegation zone. Lost 4 games on the bounce at home for the first time in about 70 years, and they still stuck by him.
Yeah,
that's what we have to do. And you look at how we're 3rd in the league. Forget where Arsenal are. We're 3 points behind Manchester City. We're 3 points behind that juggernaut. Arguably, people say the best side in club football right now.
Yeah.
3 points behind them.
Yeah.
Topped our Champions League group. Got Champions League football last year.
Yep.
When we were 9 points off top 4 when he took over. We were 6 points behind Arsenal and they had a game in hand. He's done an unbelievable job. So why wouldn't you want to give this man the tools?
And you know what, Ryan? It's funny because
the chance.
It's funny because, like you just said, we're 3 points behind Man City, right? And this is a team who's been together for years and is being built over £1 billion has been spent.
I was told they're going to run away with it, Man City.
Well, the thing is, though, if you look at the contrast in the performances between Tottenham and Man City this season, right? Man City have looked like majority of the time they've obliterated teams, right? And we've played like dog shit. We have played dog shit, if we're honest, and we're only 3 points behind them. And people need to understand and realize that it isn't a bad thing because we aren't actually playing well. And if you look at the players we got compared to them, and we're only 3 points behind them, is that really
we got them
a bad
twice
thing?
in January, Dan?
Yeah, we do. I know it's gonna be interesting.
That's annoying because it's before the end of the transfer window when we're going to do all our business, if we do business. And by the way, Kuva, when I said you're the only one that didn't want Conte from the start, that's why you're the exception to the rule. I meant you're the only person I know on YouTube that was saying it when it happened. Not like, I'm sure there's others who didn't want him either.
Oh yeah, sure. For me, it's this lot. We're always going to come back to the same debate, really, aren't we? January's going to sort a lot of things out. We'll know what's happening with the club, short-term future. If there's not players coming in, then you better start worrying.
Yeah.
If we do get players in, maybe there's a little hope. I just don't believe it. I just don't think we'll see anything. And that's why, what is the point? We'll keep coming back to it. What is the point in Conte being here if he's just never going to get those players in that he wants? Total waste of everybody's time.
I agree, Kuva. I agree.
Do you think, Kuva, then that
I agree
that if we were to go and get, say, for example, 2 players on loan, right, and they're not really that great players, they're just there to kind of add a bit of depth to the squad, right? Do you think that maybe tells everyone that Conte's probably going to walk in the summer because they haven't really gone and improved the squad in the way they actually need to, even to a level where it's respectable, right? Do you think that then goes and tells the fans, well, looks like Conte and the board are not on the same page and it looks like he's going to walk and we should start worrying about what's going to happen in the summer?
Yeah.
It was quite a bit to digest. I was just trying to digest.
What was that? Saying about Spurs or something? Yeah.
Cooper was like, "What did you say, Danny?"
If we only end up with a couple of loan signings, if Conte signs in a contract extension at the end of the day. Signs on could be the more likely one.
Yeah.
If he does sign a contract extension, it means he's happy with what's going on. He can't have the wool pulled over his eyes. He's seen what the club's doing so far now. If he does that, then and we're still not signing big name players in, Conte's got to deliver something, hasn't he?
So this kind of leads on to this super chat from Wayne Bonner. Big up Wayne Bonner. Thank you for the super chat, man. Dier, new contract. Who's told him he's a defender, right? So let's lead on to this right now. Do you think then that Conte is happy if Dier is signing a new contract, that Conte is actually happy with him to be part of the squad, and he believes that he's going to be this player to help them go on and win trophies, which is what Conte wants? Or do you think this is something else?
He plays him, and he's said regularly that he thinks Dier is going to be a top defender. So
when?
He has said it.
We are talking about a player that couldn't make it in Portugal, comes over to Everton. Everton decide they're not even going to pay $5 million for him.
Yep.
And then we get him, and he's dropped from the position he wants to play, forced to play another position, and then dropped from that one as well. That's the quality of player we got. And we got, well, don't get this, because Mourinho was really fond of Dier as well.
Until the end, when he started dropping him.
Yeah, the only explanation I've got is that Dier spends a lot of time on all fours with a training ground.
Eric Dier is the most overrated player at Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, without a question. We are not winning a damn thing with Eric Dier at the centre-back position, in the centre-back position, starting week in, week out. And Elias, honestly, I fear for you, bro. I fear for the future of the club. I fear for the future of our supporters. Mate, he's not. He's shown it time and time again, like that header in the Liverpool game that cost us. He's always got that in him. And whilst he's got that in him, he'll never be the player we want. As a top 4 challenge for a top 4 race, he's proven it. He's shown he can do it. But when it comes to when it really matters for us, he's one of the bottle jobs. And do you know what? When people say, oh, but Kane and Son, they haven't done it either. But look at their individual awards, what they've won individually. Top goal scorer, golden boots, most assists. Their individual results show that they're quality. You can't say that for Dier. He simply isn't good enough. Here's my question to all of you guys in the comments, especially you, Elias. What top 4 team in this country, and I'm talking right now, take us out of it. So Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea and Man United, which one of them pays money for Dier and starts him week in, week out? None of them. But yet at Tottenham, he's a good defender. He's a brilliant player. It's delusional. It's delusional.
Come on, I think Arsenal would. Newcastle, please, Arsenal, come and get him.
Yeah.
Please.
You took Sol Campbell off us. You can have Dier.
No, but that's why that one hurt though. He was actually good.
Yeah, he won stuff.
This is that the credit in the bank. They took that one. Now they've got to do us a favour.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't get it.
Iggy, do you want to answer this question by Pyrex?
Does anyone want to read it out, or just stare at it?
Iggy's talking, but he's on mute. He hasn't realised.
All right, okay. I'm like, what's going on? We're just staring at the question, all of us.
I didn't even put it on mute, man. I did not even put it on mute. All right. People that want if you don't like a manager because you don't like a manager and his style, that's perfectly fine. To want Spurs to lose games just so he gets sacked, I don't know what kind of fan that would make someone that wants his own team to lose in order to force a sacking. I don't want the guy sacked. I want him to be given a proper opportunity to do his job and to see out his job, to be given the tools to do his job to the maximum. Once I feel the club have done everything they possibly can to appease his manager, to allow him to do the job to as best of his abilities and to give a proper, real crack at it, and then if he fails after he's been given everything possible by the club to do his job, and he fails, then it's right that he moves on. However, the question mark always has been and always will be the ambition of the club, which is what unites us here, especially, even though we've all see differently to the style of managers and what kind of football we want to see. Even though we all differ on opinions on that basis, what unites us is the fact that we always question the ambition of the club and which direction this club wishes to take, which has never, for me, it's never been clear. Or if it has, it's certainly not what I would like or where I would like Tottenham to be. And unfortunately, the fear, and which is what I think Kuva was getting at earlier on, is nothing's going to happen in January, perhaps because what's different this time around than say last season and the season before, that we're going to see something different. We can only hope that we get 2-3 players in, because I think if you have two or three players coming in, of course, hope, but that's all we go on. As fans, this is the only thing you can go on, especially a Tottenham fan. If you get 3 quality players coming in, doesn't matter what kind of deal it is, whether you get them now and pay for him in 18 months' time, whatever. 3 quality players in that all of a sudden will give you a boost for the second half of the season. And it ain't going to be any easier, because you've got some big games coming up. We've got all the big teams coming to play at Tottenham Hotspur Ground. The Champions League games coming up, a potential, quarterfinals, semi. It will give a huge boost if we leave everything as it is and don't make any kind of signings for the second half of the season, and we go on with what we've got right now. We're in trouble, because we just about made it to the break, holding on to just about, we got through in the Champions League in the last game available to us. We kept on to we're third, fourth right now in the league. We held on, but now we need to give a bit of life into this club and into this team for the second half of the season. And I don't want to see a manager sacked until I've seen personally with my own eyes that he's been given everything to succeed at Spurs. Yeah. Right now, I can't say it's happened.
But see, also, there's one fundamental difference between my stance and you're sort of giving Conte a chance stance, and that's that I can see it in all of you at times. You've still somehow got this little grain of hope that we're going to do something different. And I haven't anymore. It's gone. I'm done with this.
And that's nothing to do with the manager. This is to do with the club.
Exactly. That's what I mean. It's not going to happen. So
it doesn't matter who we get. If that's the stance, it doesn't matter who we get. We can get God Almighty himself to come and coach, come and manage the team. Nothing's going to change. And that is the case, man.
Hold on, Kuva. All right. With what you just said, you're right. But this is why I've got that little bit of hope left. And I will admit, I do have a little bit of hope. And I'll tell you why. Because if there is a manager right now in world football who's got a track record of storming out when he doesn't get what he wants and causing a shitstorm and making demands and either back me or sack me, it's this guy. So if anyone can turn the screw on Levy and try and force the changes we want, it's this man. That's why I've got hope. As long as he's here, I've got hope. if he walks or he gets sacked or it all fizzles out and Conte's gone, then Kuva, I am hopeless for the rest of existency whilst these morons are running the club.
This is why I'd stick with what my viewpoint. You look at the transfer windows since he's arrived. Has it really done the job? I don't think so. The two best signings we've had in that time, Bentancur and Kulusevski, because Paratici could go back to Juve and, where he's got his mates there. Just, get a couple of players last minute. The rest of it, very debatable. I don't see any way we're backing him. I see no evidence of it happening so far, and I see nothing that
you're right.
me
You're
it's happening in the
absolutely.
future.
There's no suggestion.
If you're proven right on this, Kuva, then I'm 100% in your camp. I'm like, hopeless, no hope. What's the point? Just, get whatever manager you can to get in that's going to play nice football, knowing that we're never going to win anything, but at least the football's all right. I'll be in your camp.
We just buy a nice pair of boots for Brian Daigle, get behind him and watch him kick all the gates off the hinges.
with Ryan holding a flag behind him.
You still got the flag, Ryan?
Yeah, as always.
I was going to ask you, do you guys
be in the Champions League final, Bob?
do you guys
Conte a week before the Champions League final and bring Mayhem?
Wait,
could you imagine
the scenes if we did that? The fucking scenes if we did. There'd be anarchy.
Would it surprise you though? Would it surprise you?
No, nothing surprises me.
Actually wouldn't. Could you imagine?
No.
Could you imagine? And what happens is we're trying to go for top 4 right the next season, and Levy goes up to him and says, "Yeah, you need to rest Harry Kane for the Premier League game because he's more important for that top 4." Imagine Daniel Levy telling Conte what to do. I'd love to see what that conversation would be like. You'd probably get Conte like spit in his face.
As long as they get it on film, I would definitely.
It'd be amazing. Oh, definitely as well. It'd be.
There'll be like
brilliant.
backdrop on the PC, so it'll be great. The other thing I always take into consideration is all well and good saying we got such a great manager, and if you back him, we'll get somewhere. How recent was it? We had Mourinho and said the same thing.
But he got us to a final, Kuva. He actually was on course to win us a trophy. The problem is we sacked him. He actually was on course to. I know it's a shit trophy.
And top 4. We were only about 3 or 4 points off top 4.
We were actually on course to do something, believe it or not. But
how
then Levy did what Levy always
get
does.
Sacking someone.
I know.
Do you know? I want to ask you guys, right? Because I've been having these debates with people on Twitter. Kulusevski and Bentancur, right? Do you think they were Spurs' first choice in terms of transfer targets?
It was Traore and Luis Diaz, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's what I said. It was Traore and also Amrabat as well. He was in there before.
Amrabat was for Bentancur.
Yep.
Diaz was for Kulusevski.
Yep.
And Traore we just tried to fit in at right wing back. He didn't want to join.
Because mine and Daigle's argument was the fact that those two players, right, as well as they've worked out, in hindsight, right, it's obviously brilliant the way it's worked out, right? Because they're two of our best performing players. But if we go back to when we signed them, no one expected them to be as good as they have been at Spurs. And the reason why people are saying, "Oh, it's good business," is because they have worked out. But if you actually look at it from the way that Spurs have tried to do the actual business, if it went Spurs' way, we would have ended up with Adama Traore and Luis Diaz and Amrabat, right? Now, that might not be nowhere near as good. Look at Luis Diaz now. He's been injured for half a season, right? I know he's a top player, but Luis Diaz is, in my opinion, I think Kulusevski is better. And Bentancur, I think, is far better than all the other midfielders we've been linked with. But it's the point where I get frustrated with this club and this board is that they always go for option B and option C. Like, why didn't they go for Kulusevski and Bentancur as their first targets if that's who they want to bring in? In my opinion, they went for them, like Kuva said, because that was an option that they could fall back on because Paratici could use his links with Juve to get a good deal out of it, which is what he got.
Yeah, the comparison I've got with that is way back in school when you go on you're about to leave school and you do a bit of work experience, and I left mine so late there was nothing about, and I had to rely on one of the teachers to call one of their friends out in world of work and hook me up with something. It's the same fucking thing. It's like we don't bother. Last minute, oh shit, I know a bloke. It's like, you know, it's always
I do the same thing when I need a barista. I just go back to my old companies because I know I train them. So it's what I do.
You know, it wasn't planned because Vlahovic went to Juventus for 60, 70 odd million when he was supposed to go to Arsenal allegedly, but we all know that was bollocks. He went to Juve, and Juve, by the end of the window, had to recoup the money. And Paratici, with his links, knew that, and he's contacted the club, and we managed to get them to. I think if Vlahovic doesn't go to Juve, I don't know if we would have got Bentancur and Kulusevski. That might not have happened.
I wonder if, like, it was so late in the day because couldn't get the paperwork done, and Paratici just says, "Oh, don't worry about that. I'll sort that."
Yeah, as he would.
Don't worry about the FBI investigation. I got this sorted. It's all right, mate.
Yeah,
it's all right. I know someone at FIFA.
Oh god!
Big up to everyone in chat and everyone that's liking, commenting, and subscribing. Let's see if we can get those likes up. Please look.
Question: does anyone think Raheem Sterling gets into the Spurs 11?
No.
Oh, fuck
Moving
off.
on.
I'd have him over Lucas Moura and Brian Hill.
Yeah,
I'd probably
I'd have Sterling over Lucas.
I definitely have him over them two. I want to ask you about the players that we've got at the moment. Do you think like we're actually going to get rid of any of the players?
All of them, shit.
Do you think we're going to get rid of any of them in January?
No.
Winks will be back. That's good news, isn't it?
Celso's injured.
Brilliant.
The clause in the summer where we could bring him back if the club wanted to
I don't think he's played a single game at Sampdoria. He hasn't played a single game for us.
He can't play for Sampdoria. How the fuck's he going to play for us, man?
He was injured the whole time. He done his ankle injury, and that was the end of that.
And Regulon as well. He's hardly played for Atletico because of injuries as well.
Yeah.
We've got players with injuries.
I might be one of the very few, but I'd take Regulon back. I think he's levels.
Okay, would you? Let's.
I agree with Ryan. I agree.
Would you have Region or Sessignon as your
Region straight up?
See, everyone would have him.
I think it was I don't think it was a technical reason why Conte got rid of him. I think it was that they clashed.
I actually know that reason. It's because Regulon's always late for training.
I heard about this.
There is a rule at Tottenham now
with Conte.
There's always changes the time of training now. Training does never start at the same time. So one day it will be 9 o'clock in the morning, but the next day it will be 7 o'clock in the morning. It's because people like Regulon would always turn up late. So he'd always change the time. So if the
times change depending if they were having a single session or a double session. If they have a double session, what they do, they meet up earlier. So say 9, 9:15, something like that. Then they start the single session. Then they go to the lodge, have their lunch, a break, and then the second half of the afternoon.
So someone hangs outside the training ground every day.
Not all the time. I just know what they do. It's just because
they change the time.
I inform myself to find out what it is they do.
Iggy's an ITK. Iggy's an ITK.
I'll do the morning videos, and then I'll think, you know what? What else is there to do for the next 6 hours? I'll just stand out there and find out. Whether it could be a lot quicker, just asking. Get the information and then going back to work.
I told you, Iggy's ITK. He's an ITK.
It's not ITK. They do double sessions at the moment.
I want to be an ITK.
At the moment, during like right now, as they're leading up to, they were doing double sessions. 100%. It's like a pre-season for the second half of the
I'm
season.
an ITKF in the no fuck all.
Yeah.
Is there a reason why
definitely used to
during the World Cup?
It's FA, by the way. ITK FA.
Pictures of us, at
Can't
Spurs
spell.
training ground.
I can't spell.
Anyone know why we didn't go abroad for training sessions?
Yeah, they couldn't do it, right? They couldn't get a deal in time, right?
What was that, right?
Why we haven't done training sessions abroad? Like have a week or 2 weeks overseas in like Dubai or
It costs money to pay for flights. Costs money to pay for
why would
insurance. Just do it at home. It's cheaper.
Why would you do warm weather training when you got to come back to England where it's -2? That literally.
I think there was in mind to do it, and then But then they chose. They opted.
They couldn't. They couldn't. What it was that they basically left it too late, as always, as Spurs do.
Oh.
In everything they do, right? They left it
Yeah.
too late, and they couldn't get a facility that was up to their standards of what they need for their training, right? Apparently, this is what.
Early.
Yeah. So this just tells me if they can't even arrange a training ground, right, to go and train for somewhere they want to go, how are they going to fucking arrange bringing players in that we need in the right amount of time?
Why do we need to train abroad? For what?
You see, I agree. It's stupid. I don't
There's a great idea behind it. If we go and train in warm weather climate, then literally land the plane, get the players changed, ready to go straight onto the pitch. And they'll be like, fuck me, they'll be awake for the first half.
Maybe that's Conte's thinking.
Or what we can do is we can land the plane, get
genius.
Emerson to go out the plane first, close the door,
And then fly back.
Just leave
There's
it.
only one reason.
Make
why.
sure we trade in Uzbekistan
If-
then, because it's probably impossible to get back from there.
If you've got players that are coming back from injury,
and just land the plane in front of the goal.
if you've got players that are coming back from injury, then it's better for them to recover better in a hot climate. But also, a lot of these teams have gone abroad for only one reason, and that's to get themselves a few extra quid by turning up for the Dubai Cup or whatever whatever trophy there is, tournaments. It's all to do with the fact that it's an opportunity to earn extra cash. There's no other real reason why they go and play abroad right now.
You also think it's also because the players that have gone to the World Cup, it's quicker for them to just jump on a half-hour flight or whatever to join up with the team rather than a 6-7 hour flight back.
To be honest with you, the comfort that they have. Listen, for me personally, they unless they've got injury issues where it's better for their recovery to go abroad. There's no reason why they shouldn't come back and train here, because the quicker they climb, look, they're gonna go from 35 degrees in Qatar, come back here, where it's been -6, -7, depending where you are in England, and it's gonna be a tough going as well. So it's better for them to just come and train here.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't see any other reason why they would need to go and train anywhere else.
We've got to listen. Spurs have got a World Cup champion coming back to the lane. So whatever happens, we're going to have a world champion in the team. So is it Hugo? Is it Romero? We shall see.
Another player who left Spurs to get trophies. Another one.
Still, you do look a bit like the Moroccan manager, though, to be fair.
I've been told I look like the Moroccan manager. I look like Nuno Espirito Santo, Ten Hag. Basically, anyone bald, still, you look like them. Still, anyone know who
got a
you
little
look
bit
like
of
them.
Amrabat going on as well.
Lucas Moura. Fuck me.
It's not as good as Brian Daigle as Cucurella with that hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a special look like that one.
So,
yeah,
bit of a Edu, bit of a Mkhitaryan.
Yeah, look at that, Levy. There you go. Anyone bald?
Big up, Dad. Big up.
Stell, you look like an egg. Stell, you look like a stone. Stell, you look like a circle. Stell, you look, whatever you want. Just
the closure of the World Cup is coming, and the stresses of being a Spurs fan is coming back all of a sudden.
Is it more excitement though, Iggy? Is it more excitement of Spurs coming back? Because I'll tell you one thing, I've missed them. I can't wait to get depressed again.
And like to lose 1-0 to Brentford.
I'm level with you. I'm level with you.
Wait, haven't your stress levels come down, people? Don't you feel less stressed?
I've enjoyed the football. I've enjoyed the football of the World Cup.
Not watching Spurs is soothing. It's relaxing.
I don't know about the excitement, Dan. I agree. Not being down the lane to watch the football and stuff like that. I agree with that part. The second bit, the excitement. I don't know about exciting about getting back to Spurs. But the main reason behind that is the reasons I said earlier, is not knowing. So you're going into the unknown of January. Or in Kuva's case, he's knowing exactly what's going to happen in January. And you know what it is with this club? And it's the only club, honestly, it's the only club that I know that just doesn't have any clarity of any planning, what's going on in the next few weeks and few months. There's no planning. There's no communication. The worst thing about this club is the lack of communication.
We know how it ends.
It's the lack of communication that the club has with its fans. I think it's disgraceful, man. Like the level of communication that to tell you what is going. I understand they cannot tell you absolutely everything because you would hold them to it, and I get that there's a certain that they have to keep back because in case it doesn't happen. But surely give us an idea of what the plan is for this club in the next 2 or 3 years on the football front, not outside.
I know what the plan is.
Not the skyscrapers, not the buildings, not the end of the road, not with the chicken. What's going to happen with those buildings there? I want to know what is happening at the football club in the football team.
I know what the plan is, mate. It's this Audi Cup, mate. Audi Cup. That's it. That's what the plan is.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. We're not winning anything like that
We
again.
haven't even defended it. We're still champions.
Do you know what alarms me? Danny, put that photo back up. There's a really alarming situation there. Put it back up a minute. Let me
No
just
one
take
to lift that
So
cup.
close,
Look how happy they are winning it. Look at the delight on their faces, like they've accomplished something.
No, I see a lot of
Moura.
players are not even in that photo.
Sissoko can't believe he's got silverware in his hands. Can't believe it. Look at him. What is that?
because Lloris didn't want to lift.
Clubs beat Bayern Munich in their own backyard on penalties.
Lloris didn't want to lift that trophy. Harry Kane didn't want to lift that trophy. Where is Harry Kane? Where is Lloris?
He was out the shot or behind.
Alderweireld's in the background laughing at everyone.
Look at Harry Winks next to him. He's loving life, mate.
Oh, Harry's got erection.
It's got nothing on the Walter Toll Memorial Trophy, though, does it?
Wait, is Lamella holding his boxer shorts?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You dirty fuck.
I don't know.
Oh my days!
I just that's the part. It's all of that I don't enjoy. I'll be honest with you. It's the part that I enjoy the least when a club doesn't communicate anything to the fans. I think it's terrible. I just going on blind. It is blind hope. It really is blind hope.
For me, one of the biggest jokes in the last 20 years is when Levy comes out and starts talking about the club's DNA.
Oh,
like,
that is the fucking word.
Fuck? We used to have that.
It's that fucking end of season message, which is like the biggest load of bullshit, and you get these fucking dumb Spurs fans who absolutely believe everything this guy says. Like, he talks the most absolute bollocks. Like, you could imagine this guy. He is just the biggest illusionist you could possibly imagine. I mean, he talked about before that summer where he's Poch had gone, right? That summer before we signed Nuno, he talked about wanting to bring the DNA back to the club. This is the biggest indication of how much this guy lies. He goes, he wants to bring a DNA back to the club and bring in a manager who's going to play attacking
Why did he bring
football.
Conte?
No, he goes to bring fucking Nuno after nearly 80 days of trying to get every single manager under the sun.
You cannot make a video that kind and then hire Conte. You can't do that. If that is what he genuinely wanted to do, he wouldn't have done Conte. So that hire, even the whole hiring of Conte was a knee-jerk reaction. As soon as the fingers were pointed at him on the back of the Man United home defeat, where they said they wanted him out, that's when Conte came in. There was no strategy in getting him in. They might have had something in place, perhaps leading up to it. They might have had a conversation about bringing him. But don't tell me Conte wasn't hiding on the fact that they called Levy out on the day of the Man United home defeat. That's the first thing. A second thing, you can look at Liverpool, you can look at United, City, Chelsea. We know more about what's happening at those clubs than what's going on at ours. But there's more information of what's going on. Listen, they may succeed and they may fail on certain things that they wish to do, but you always know what is going on in those clubs, what their intentions are, and what their plans are for the next transfer market or for the following season. Even Arsenal, you know what's going on at that club and what they're trying to do, because what they're showing you is what they've been working on for the last 2 or 3 years leading up to this point. What's happening at our club? What is that?
To be
fair, Chelsea fan saying that. That's a Chelsea fan.
But do you know what? Makes
Why
me
do we have people that are supporters of Spurs, and I say supporters, who think that Levy and ENIC are messiahs.
Do you know what, Ryan? Do you know what, Ryan? It's funny because the people I speak to who are fans of other clubs, right? I was speaking to an Arsenal fan earlier this week, and we started getting into a heated argument. And then eventually, I started getting him to say what he actually thought. And when he started talking, he was actually speaking sense. He was saying exactly what a lot of some of the ENIC out or Levy out Spurs fans were saying, and he could see exactly the good that Levy has done in terms of the stadium, the infrastructure. But in terms of the footballing side of things, he's done absolutely fuck all because he hasn't given a shit. And when you've got other fans who don't even pay attention to your club but can talk about it like they can see what some of us see, right? Don't you think that's alarming that other fans can see what a lot of us can see? The fact that Levy doesn't actually pay attention to making the squad and the team better in terms of buying quality players. Isn't that a worry, in fact? And how a lot of Spurs fans who seem to be naive, or they seem to block the side of things that a lot of us see in terms of what the board do and what Levy does. Do you not think that? Because no, I do.
Danny, should I tell you what it is, right? This is what it comes down to, and it's not just Spurs fans and Tottenham; it's society in general. Okay. Last year, I put a tweet out where I said I blame the fans. For me, Spurs fans are to blame for this situation, and there was a meltdown amongst some of the weak-minded people on Twitter. Some of the I can't handle this opinion, just savage, rampant attack. Let's just blow it up. And the reason is because we accept it. We accept it. When the ESL happened, the Arsenal protest was big. Man United gate crashed, Liverpool Man United game. They shut that down. The protests inside the stadium, when Liverpool put their prices up to £75 in the new stand, on the 75th minute, they all got up out of the stand and walked out. They put mass pressure on their owners, right? We accept it. We as fans say that's okay because we don't take any form of action. We simply don't. Having a debate on YouTube and let's engage in debate is absolute bollocks because it won't change a damn thing. And someone said this to me when I was getting a lot of shit for that comment. Someone said to me, if there's people out there that don't like you, that's a good thing because it means you had an opinion in life and you stood by it. Those people haven't got it in them to have an opinion that sounds against the club, right? I will say this, and I've said it 100 times. I will always support my team, which is why I've got a season ticket and I go and watch them and I cheer them on. Even if that chicken shit Royale's on the pitch, I still cheer them on, right? I'll always support my team. Doesn't mean I have to support the owners and the chairman. Not one bit. Yeah. They can't separate the two. These fans that don't like opinions like mine, they can't separate ENIC and Levy from the team, football and a match day. It all has to come as one. No, it doesn't. I know they're interlinked. And this is, and I've said it 100 times, and people lose their shit over it. The fans at Tottenham are to blame. And I'm talking about the ones that say this is okay. It's not okay, but we've allowed it to be okay. And I'll never change my opinion on that. And I'll always have enemies because of it, because I'm not budging on that, because I know I'm right. That one opinion, I know I'm right, because I've seen what the other clubs have done. Go to Italy, go to Greece, go to Spain. Look what their fans do when shit goes down. They practically take control of the club, right? Here, go on then. Another Cornish pasty and a pint. We lost 3-0. I'll see you in the South Stand.
I mean, Danny and I had a conversation with Mr. Wayne Holland in the chat. Big up, Wayne.
Yeah, big up, Wayne.
He said to us, your owners troll you. They go out of their way to take the piss out of you. And I was having this conversation with Sean.
This is a Leicester fan, so it's another fan of the rival club.
This is a Leicester fan.
He's won more trophies than us.
Yeah, they have.
Every single time we're linked with something amazing, we start to get excited. It goes away, and then suddenly molten brown. It's Dulux paint. It's this. It's like something bollocks. It's like, oh, it's just what's it called? It's
we transfer fans out of in the transfer window, like bringing some of the Liverpool fans, the ones that actually have a bit of bottle about them to actually, and then we could use them to try and protest against Levy and ENIC.
I actually love the fact that we got Dulux paint as a sponsor, and they fucking trolled us straight away.
The same week.
Just said it all. I mean, you gotta laugh at that. It's just so ridiculous.
Yeah, that was that. And
we literally got coated.
Yeah.
But that's the funny thing, though. Even our sponsors take the piss out of us, right? And yet fans still choose to ignore the stuff that hits them in the fucking face, right? It's actually sickening at times, still. Like, I just don't understand how delusion there is within this fan base.
The thing is, Danny, they're allowed their opinion, right? They're
No, of
allowed to
course.
have their opinion
Of
and
course
they're
they
allowed to
are.
have their views. But it beggars belief
But it's
how
not
they can't
still.
just look at it and they know deep down they know.
But it's
The fact there's a Levy ENIC out contingent says to you there is a problem. The fact that we exist is a problem. Why? Why do we exist? Are we idiots? Are we stupid? Are we morons? Or maybe we're sick of seeing what we see, and that's it.
For me, it's that long-term thing that's been going on, the PR machine. If you know, go back several decades, lots of the older fans will tell you the same thing. When we were playing some decent football, the trophies will come in. We're well known for being an FA Cup team. We used to claim it was our trophy and things like that. Over the years, instead of celebrating those cup wins and looking at the heroes in the team and that sort of thing, that your attention gets diverted to, if it's not going too well, give a cheer for Hugo keeping a clean sheet. Or we've now got the biggest bar in Europe at the ground. Or our stadium's the best. Yeah. And it's everything to distract you from looking at the lack of success on the football. So, you know, we've got all these great things that have been provided by the club. It's amazing. We're so top of the range.
King Memorial.
Yeah.
I'm gonna level with you lot. When I go to Spurs game recently, and this predominantly happens at half time, and I don't blame any of the past players that have been that served the club and won trophies. But I'm getting sick and tired of having to listen to. How can I word this without? I don't want to sound like I'm disrespecting the past legends of the Spurs, Spurs players. But they come out and Clive Allen will come out with these stories of the '80s and all these, all these
Mickey Hazard, Graham Robert.
Mickey Hazard, and it's like I don't want to piss on their parade, but I'm thinking to myself, when are we going to start listening to some news stories, some recent stories? Like, if you've lived that generation, like Mickey Hazard, and they were brilliant guys, by the way, they were brilliant football players, but you have to have lived that generation to really appreciate those players. If somebody like a little bit younger, man. Mickey Hazard is a player of the past, and they want to have that connection. They appreciate
like your kids,
the
Iggy, like your kids, for example.
Yeah, they won't have any connection. My 13-year-old son, he'd be like he won't even remember like who the early 2000s. He don't want to know. They'll know from like 2000.
Harry Kane,
Pochettino era.
Modric,
the Pochettino. That's why people are so connected with Pochettino. It's the present. It's more the because that's what
generation, Iggy.
Yeah, because you look at Tottenham. A lot of these people look at Tottenham from the Pochettino era. They become Spurs fans because of Pochettino.
Yeah,
and they didn't know the Spurs of the past. They know that Spurs, and all of a sudden they're like.
But Iggy, I don't think it's the young fans that have got a problem wanting ENIC and Levy out, because when we did do the protest, the few that did turn up were all young. It's that 35, 40-year-old upwards. They're the ones that don't.
They live that. They lived through that time where we nearly went to extinct in the 80s.
But
where we were.
It's not just that, Iggy. It's also the fact that those fans are just sick of how things are now, right? Because of how they see the club and how when they used to watch Spurs actually lift trophies. Like I said, my dad has seen us win European Cups, FA Cups. He's seen them lift most things, right? And now he's lost interest in Spurs. He pays attention from them from a distance now because
he watches it from the sofa.
Yeah, because even that Iggy doesn't even do that half the time because of how fucking shit it is and how this club is run, because we don't have these top players. I mean, look at how Tottenham tried to during the Dele Alli era. Look at how they tried to make him a symbol at Spurs and how all these kids are looking up to this Dele Alli. He's a fucking bum. He's someone who doesn't give a shit about football, right? He's wasted his career, right? If he cared about football, he would still be at this club, and we'd actually might have won something, right? And this is the problem.
What a fool that was, man, Dele Alli.
But
That was a spectacular fool, Dele Alli. He was like the golden youngster of English football, Dele Alli.
In Europe, Estelle, in Europe.
Unbelievable. The goals he scored for Tottenham were superb, you know, like absolutely top draw.
I was never that bothered about Dele Alli. He was one of those players that if he's not scoring a goal, he's doing nothing.
He was more than that back in his prime. He done, because he had that bite about him.
In his prime, he was good. Yeah, he did a bit.
Oh yeah, he's had some good games for us. I just never bought into this. Like he's this amazing talent.
We're talking about prime. A prime at 22. What is he? Still 26 years old.
People like Frank in the comments get called legacy fans now.
Go back to Paddy's comment.
They're trying to get rid of them. They don't want legacy fans.
Yeah, and
I agree. I agree. Same.
So come to the protest, Paddy. Show your face at the protest and support us.
My youngest.
Where's the support?
My youngest is in the Champions League.
One more person each time. Look, keep coming down. If shit hits the fan January, we will be out there freezing our asses off February.
We need fans to take.
The noise has got to happen in the stadium.
In the stadium. That's where it happens.
Not anywhere else. If that shit happens, it's got to happen in the stadium. Because
you know why, Ryan?
Yeah, we know it's got.
It's coverage. Yeah,
that's exactly why. Because
the problem is, Ryan,
it hits everything. It hits the sponsorship. We know that.
The problem is, there's not enough fans that believe what a lot of us or some of us here believe, right? Or what everyone on this panel believes, right? That's the problem. That's the problem. And the only way, still, even in the stadium, right? It was the first time in 20 years of their ownership, Levy's and ENIC's ownership, right, that we heard Levy out chants. In 22 years, right, was when we lost that 3-0 to Man United before Nuno got sacked, right, and before Conte came in. How many times have the fans had a chance to go and sing that in the stadium? And other people have been saying this for years. Not enough fans believe that they're the problem. That's the issue.
Anyone else? £1,000. Capital Morocco. You got 5 seconds. Answer it.
I don't know.
Marrakesh.
It is Marrakesh.
Yeah. Send us £1,000, buddy. Send us an email. Yeah,
that's to Tottenham away, not Tottenham on tour.
Super chat. Come on, super chat.
I'm going to say that would be an impressive super chat.
Yeah.
even YouTube would shit themselves with that. I mean, fucking
I think they would.
But do you know what? The other thing as well, if you look at the other clubs, if you look at the biggest YouTube channels for their clubs, so with Arsenal, you've got Arsenal Fan TV, and with Man United, you've got Mark Goldbridge and the United Stand, like huge channels. They were pumping out Glazers out, Kroenke out, but they're really week in, week out. That was the message. They've got to go. We've got to get rid of them. If you look at the Spurs' biggest channels, okay, I'm not going to talk about Ben and Sim because they came to the ESL protest, but the other bigger Spurs channels, they don't do it. They don't, and there lies the problem. The voice, the numbers, the biggest audiences, the message isn't getting to them because they've been bought. They've sold themselves to sponsors and friends in the media, and their friends in the media won't come on their shows as guests if they've got this agenda against Levy. And whereas us, with our smaller channels, we say it as it is. But that doesn't happen at Arsenal, Man United, and even Liverpool. Their big channels, they don't give a shit. Their big channels are more real than our big ones, with the exception of We Are Tottenham TV. And I mean that. They're not as real. Our big channels are not real. They're media-driven. They're sponsor-driven. And I don't know how we've got into that situation. How our club's got into that situation. I don't get it.
Well, it's a frustrating thing still. That's the biggest problem, is that the fan base is so diverse. It's so split on ENIC in and ENIC out, or ENIC change, or whatever it is they believe. And that's the problem, that we're not a united front. And that's why, unless people, like Iggy said, stand up about it in the stadium and they're really not happy about it. Like, that's why I'm really intrigued to see what happens in the summer, because if Conte does walk, what happens then? he brings Poch back, and then what the fans, most of these young fans will be like, oh, we got our Poch back and all this, but they're not looking at the actual bigger picture because they're just deluded by what the decision Levy's done by bringing someone like Poch back. It's going to happen if Conte walks out. Poch is coming back. That's
no,
simple as that.
I don't think he'll be the next manager. I really don't.
Mate, trust me, he will be the next manager
at some point.
No.
I don't think he'll be the next manager.
Pochettino.
I don't think Poch will be desperate enough to come back at this point.
I do. That's the thing.
He's surely going to see what's going on.
That's the thing, Kuva. I believe he is. I honestly believe he wants nothing more.
He knows what it's like here. He
wants nothing more than to come back here. And what will happen is Daniel Levy will sell him a fucking pipe dream and say, "Oh, don't worry, things will be different this time." It'll be like tickling his balls like every time we come into a transfer window. It'll be like, yeah, don't worry, I'll get you this player. Don't worry. And then, oh no, sorry, we couldn't do this deal because his grandma wasn't around the day to help sign the contract, so he couldn't do the deal that day. Or
Danny, can you get this comment up?
And do you know what I mean?
Danny, can you get this comment up? Spurs Talk Show.
Which one?
I think the next Spurs manager will probably
11:48.
I think we'll get Brendan Rodgers as our next Spurs
I don't see it.
11:48 p.m.
Oh, 11:48. Okay, yeah.
Oh, this one.
Okay,
right.
Oh.
I've spoken to 2 people on those channels, and both of them have said to me they will not go in on the owners because they have got sponsors. They get priority tickets for events. They even get flown out abroad to certain pre-season events, and they will not get the people, the alley goals.
Well, that's obvious.
They will not get them on their show. So this is a fallacy.
No, yeah, I agree with the fact that if there's other people big up. If there's other people who say, for example, don't want to say what they truly feel. Yeah, I do agree. Still, it is to do with sponsors and what they can and can't say and things like that. And it's a problem because obviously when people are watching what they say or listening to what they say on the radio or whatever it is, any social media platform, right? They look at it and they believe it, and it's like because if they say it,
you know George Achilea.
Okay.
Have you heard of George Achilea?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I've asked him. I've spoken with him off a stream. I did a show on Holly's channel once, and after the show, I spoke to him, and he said he works. He does work for certain other YouTubers and certain other big media accounts, and he cannot be seen to be saying ENIC out, Levy out for his work. So his work prevents him from speaking up on it. So this is the point I'm making. If you look at the other channels, they don't care about that. The other channels, Arsenal Fan TV have got more sponsors than anyone else. You think they give a shit? Look how they go on. I don't like them, but my God, they proper go in when they have to, and they say it as it is. They don't hold back. And the same, watch the United Stand, watch Goldbridge. They don't hold back on what they really think. Whereas with our channels, it's so PC. It's so let's be careful. Don't say that. Don't look negative. That's positive. That's negative. It's like, oh Jesus, man.
But the difference is
those channels want them to say it, and then the whole.
But the thing is, those 2 channels have built themselves up to such a massive platform that they don't need to rely on sponsors to make money. They'll make money from YouTube. Yeah. They'll make money from YouTube regardless, so they can say what they want. The channels like in certain, say for example, Tottenham, Chelsea, or other channels, they will. If they're not sponsored by people, right, then they will say what they want and they'll grow their channel to a level where they can. And if they do get sponsors, then they have to watch what they say because they're sponsored by a brand, right? They can't be seen saying certain things that goes against the brand, especially if that brand has ties to that club, right? But whereas the United Stand and Arsenal AFTV, for example, they can say what they want because they're big enough to say what they want because they don't care. They don't need to rely on those sponsors. They will make money regardless.
So what you're saying is our channels have sold their souls until they're big enough to release the souls.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, as soon as they're non-reliant on the advertising, because at the end of the day, if you're going to wage war on Spurs and on a YouTube
you're going to lose.
You're taking on a billionaire chairman and a multi-billion pound company, basically. Yeah. If it comes to a media war, you're going to lose that. They'll just squash you.
Kuva, only if you've got something to lose.
Yeah, that's it. But there are channels we have that are, that's Danny said. I'll look at it the same way. When they're at that midway point, relying on sponsors to make the money to keep the channel going, they can do it full time. If you get to say 250,000 viewers, 500,000 viewers, the sponsorship money, you can pick and choose whether you want to do it or not.
Exactly,
because you've got revenue coming in from all your followers. It's scale of size, really. It really is. I think it's what people want to strive for. So when you get to that certain point, it's like some of the smaller channels that start hitting 9,000, 10,000, getting on to 20,000. I'm sure you're going to see attitudes change on those channels because there's a lot of risk if you're starting to pull the money in, and it's getting quite a nice little earner for you on the side.
How can Tottenham shut me down if I'm 30, 40,000?
Because you don't have sponsors still that are tied to the club.
No, I disagree with this, and I'll tell you why. We've just got a sponsor, right? We've landed a sponsor, quite a good sponsor as well. And the one condition, and I asked it, was that...
But are they tied to the club?
No.
Well, that's exactly my point. That's my point.
Well, there you go, right?
So if it's not about
sponsors.
If you're talking about someone who's got...
Yeah, go on. I was going to say, so... The one thing I said to the sponsor was, there is no point you sponsoring us because if we have to change what we do, because the reason we're growing and we are where we are now is because we are how we are. You have to give us that freedom. The one thing we won't do is just be cunt. We can rein that in a bit for sure. We're not going to just be this foul-mouthed, crazy channel. We're still going to swear because football is... Fans get passionate. They swear when they rant. But I said to them, if I feel I need to go in on the owners or I feel I need to go in on a player, I have to be allowed to do that. Otherwise, this sponsorship's going to be dead. You're going to bin us within a month. And they agreed. So it is possible to keep your soul and get a sponsor. But what I think's happened with some Spurs channels is they've sold themselves literally to the max just for the sake of money over being a true fan and saying, listen, this is how I really feel. How can you be one person off camera?
That fits in perfectly with the Spurs model, though, doesn't it?
Well, and that's my problem, Kuva, and that's my gripe. That's where I'm having a bit of a rant here. I'm like, I see that as a big problem because I don't see that with the other football clubs that are, like Arsenal, Man United. What I've seen their fans do online the past 3-4 years in their massive meltdowns. Just look at Troops on Arsenal fan TV. The craziness. All of them going ballistic. And they went to 50,000, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. And they kept going and going. It's only now they've kind of reined it in a bit. When they don't need to, they've actually reined it in, which is weird. But it's just an observation. Everyone's allowed to disagree with what I think. But I don't think we've got one channel big enough that really says, do you know what? We need to say something about this ownership. We need to properly do something about it as a fan base. So... and then I'll get told stuff like you're in an echo chamber, blah 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 blah, all the usual excuses and defensive mechanisms kick in. But whilst we've only won one trophy in 22 years, I'm sorry, fans don't have a leg to stand on to defend it. This is the worst period in the history of our club, and all I ever hear is, "Oh, but you can't take on oil money." Leicester did, Liverpool did, Arsenal did. Oh, but we're not owned by Arabs, nor Liverpool, nor Arsenal, nor Leicester. Oh, but, look where the club is now compared to when Levy took it over. Yeah, same place. We've won nothing. But we've got more fans. We've got a bigger stadium with no trophy cabinet. Like this, where is the argument here? That you can't defend it anymore. Until Levy wins a couple of FA Cups, maybe a league title and an FA Cup, something like that. I don't know, man.
I think he's got to do a league title now. I don't think an FA Cup's going to cut it anymore.
Can you bring up the comment Spurs Talk Show?
I agree, Kuva.
On the that one. We actually do listen to other people's opinions.
I said that all along.
The thing is, other people's opinions are literally to do with the stadium, the training ground, and everything else apart from on the pitch matters. All we care about is on the field matters. It seems like whether you want to call them ENIC, lot, whatever, the other fan base that aren't with us or have the same opinion as us only specifically talk about the positives. We're quite happy to talk about the positives. Like you'll see Brian Daigle, Bob Spurs, Stel, me, Danny, Ben, everyone in here, everyone that's in the chat that might be ENIC out, say he's done amazing things with the stadium. Unbelievable things.
Brilliant businessman.
Yeah.
Brilliant businessman. Hands down. Awesome businessman. You can't knock him.
No. The fact Arsenal fans are jealous at the stadium, it's probably not the fact that it's the stadium as a whole, it's the fact that we didn't have to sell any of our big players to fund that stadium. Whereas Arsenal had to sell Fabregas, Nasri, Adebayor, Henry, everyone had to go.
I'm sentimental, mate. I miss White Hart Lane, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely love the lane. I love the lane. I don't have as many.
Miss the atmosphere for sure.
I think my dad always said, my dad was crying during the final game. He said, all my memories are dying in that stadium. Memories that you have there. But I don't see any of the ENIC in fan base talk about the bad stuff that we've done.
That is true.
They don't seem to have that understanding of where we're coming from. Yeah, they don't have the balanced argument. Like we're trying to have the balanced argument. They're going, well, it's just completely negative.
I think to be fair, you get this both sides of the fence. You'll say, there's an echo chamber and then an Levy or pro-Levy arguments will stick together and Levy out will stick together. There is some truth to that because you look for allies when you're like getting into a bit of a fight on it. But I do think the truth is we're both sides are guilty of doing this. We'll refuse to acknowledge the bits that we don't like and, just double down on the bits that are pertinent to us. And it really does work in both camps.
Kuva,
the two things I hate right now, to be honest with you, is about getting rid of Chick King and all of this stuff with, flats and everything like that. That's the only thing I hate about it. Look, if you want to build another stadium on top of the stadium, that's fine, absolutely fine. Make it a double stadium. That doesn't. It's to do the stuff away from the football team. Stadium has some ethos with the football team. A new training ground has ethos with the football team. Flats have absolutely nothing to do with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Absolutely nothing. That's all to do with Levy making extra money.
Ryan, let's have it right, okay? Because people that do like Levy and do protect the club and do have like ENIC, they will throw comments like, you don't have balance, you're negative, echo chamber. Yeah, I haven't said one word about the ENIC outlook. I haven't said you're this, you're that, you're right. Daniel Levy has done a magnificent job with that stadium. To build that in London is an unbelievable effort from him, Joe Lewis. It's a phenomenal stadium. The training ground, state of the art. I'm lucky. I've been there many times. It's a phenomenal piece of architecture. The grounds are huge. The academy, it's wonderful. We've got probably the most amount of sponsors we've ever had. We've got more money than we've ever had. We've got NFL, boxing. What he's done, you cannot knock it. His passion, his energy, his effort, and the commitment to delivering the best. He's second to none in the Premier League. For me, he's second to none.
Yeah.
And he hires the best. He hires the best architects. He hires the best designers. He brings in the biggest brands, the biggest sponsors. He brings the biggest boxing fights. He only deals with the best with all of this stuff. When it comes to the football team, the engine of the club, the same passion, energy, hunger, skill, brilliance. I'm sorry. He hasn't brought that. And he still hasn't brought it.
Yeah.
Maybe he's brought 75%, but that's it.
Not even
and he doesn't bring in the best. I've been to the academy. We do not have these amazing, brilliant coaches in the academy. We don't.
Still, we've got one of the worst academies in the league.
We don't.
We need to stop the chat for a second because we do actually have another guest to bring on. So, yeah, things are about to get rowdy. I don't know if
we've got a special guest.
Brian Daigle must be.
I'm glad he's coming on actually because I haven't seen him in a while.
Alex Davies.
It'll be nice to see his face and of course
Kulusevski.
that smile, that absolute blinder of a smile, and And he needs no introductions, everyone, and we know who it
And of
is. So let's
course,
bring
you
him on.
don't know.
You
Get
need
to
to
know.
get to know.
What are you saying, Alex? What are you
How
saying?
you doing, Alex?
Yeah, need to just get into it. I'm just gonna get straight into it.
Love it.
Just
When do you never know?
firstly,
Are you good, Alex? Are you good?
firstly, just to remind some people, because a lot of people talk a lot of rubbish. A lot of people talk a lot of rubbish.
Oh God.
A lot of people talk an absolute load of rubbish. The first thing about Kane, oh, we need to look after Kane because Kane's done this and done that, and we need to do this and do that. I said he was a loser. Look what's happened. He's a loser, isn't it? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's all I need to say. Song again, loser again. You know what I mean? I said the World Cup. Not that I really cared about the World Cup because you know what I mean. I had to refresh myself. You know, refresh, start again. You know, a brilliant time for me right now. Mr. Box Office, like again, starting again. You know, because needed that time to refresh because a lot of idiots were talking, saying, "Oh well, it shouldn't be on the stream. Mr. Box Office should." You know, go back to his own post office and everything else. Well, I'm still here, bub. What you saying? Nothing. That's what you're saying. Anyway, getting back to the Tottenham team.
I ain't
you know
getting
what I
my
mean?
letters.
Like I said, going back to the Tottenham team. Like I said, Harry Kane is a loser. Like I said, like that team, I've been told, is a great team. Yeah, he's had good players there. He's still didn't get the job done. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Again, loser. You know what I mean?
Are you calling him a loser
Why-
because of what happened with England?
Why is he a loser, Alex?
He's a loser, bruv. He's a loser.
Why?
What have he
Why
won?
is he a loser?
What has he won? What has he won, bruv? What has he
But
won?
Are you calling
on what basis are you calling him a loser? Because of
Because
England,
he hasn't won no trophies, bruv. He ain't won no trophies.
and
he
that's
knows
solely
it,
down to
bruv.
him.
I can't.
He ain't won no trophies.
And that's solely down to him.
Bruv, no, but like I said, if you're telling me he's a world-class player, we're talking like he's the GOAT. The GOAT, yeah? Right? The GOAT wins trophies, bruv. That's what Messi does. That's what Ronaldo does. That's what people like Vardy's winning trophies, bruv. Tillerman's winning trophies, bruv. You get what I'm saying? You know, I think people completely forget what happened against Nottingham Forest in the cup. By the way, the Carabao Cup. What happened? What happened?
Portsmouth
You know
won the FA Cup, Alex, so their players better than Harry Kane.
Exactly. But Portsmouth won it with Defoe. Sol Campbell won the bloody FA Cup.
Defoe better than Harry Kane then?
Well, bruv, look, listen, bruv.
The question,
bruv,
is Defoe better than Harry Kane, Alex?
Stellus, you had your 5 minutes of fame already, bruv. Mr. Box Office talking now, bruv, yeah? That's how it goes, yeah? Mail events talking now, bruv, yeah?
Congratulations for getting excited. Well done.
No. Mr. Box Office is talking, bruv. Listen to the
Is Defoe better than Harry Kane?
Listen to the master.
Exactly.
The apprentice, listen, bruv.
Can't answer the question because I put you in the corner and you don't have to get out of it. Is Defoe better than Harry Kane?
Bruv, you had about 2 hours to say your piece, bruv, yeah? You had 2 hours. You had 2 hours to say your piece.
Better than Harry Kane.
Bruv, you had 2 hours to say your piece, bruv, yeah? You haven't made yourself known. Mr. Boxoff is making himself known now, bruv. Listen, this is how it is. That's what I'm saying. But like I said, yeah, like I said, people don't want to talk about Sol Campbell. And by the way, yeah, your hero Fruad, yeah, it was saying on the DR Sports, yeah, it was saying that he respected him, by the way. So I'm not the only one saying it, by the way, yeah. And I don't follow him. So like I said, yeah, right. People respect him because he's won trophies, bruv. If he stayed at Tottenham, would he won trophies? No, bruv. That's all I'm saying, bruv. Yeah, and people completely forget about that Carabao Cup. People forget about the Europa Conference League. People forget about everything else that has happened before, bruv. Yeah, and people now are saying that they want Poch back. That just sums up Tottenham, bruv. Stop Tottenham fans, yeah. Spursy, bruv.
Anderson won a Premier League at Man United. Does that make him a top player?
Yes, bruv, because he won trophies, bruv. What is he going to look for, bruv? He can look at his trophy cabinet and say, "What have I done? Oh, I've got a trophy. At least I've got a trophy, bruv."
You cannot, honestly, Alex, seriously, you cannot put Kane's lack of success at Spurs purely down to him. What you have to
he's one of those.
Yeah, but he's part of a team, though, Alex.
What you have to put it down as is that he's not been properly supported with a network of players that to his level to go and actually win something. Messi would not potentially win the World Cup tomorrow if he's not surrounded by 10 other players. He would not. And it's proven the previous Argentinian teams haven't won anything with Messi in it. Obviously, Copa America was only recent, but overall in his 20-year career at Argentina, he didn't win anything. But when he was surrounded by quality players at Barcelona, he won everything.
I think for me, there's one example that I think really.
Not that I'm comparing Kane with Messi, but just to give you an idea of what.
There's one I've got. I think it's a really good comparison for Harry Kane, and that'd be Steven Gerrard, because Steven Gerrard was desperate to win a league title, and he never managed it. It ate away at him. He just couldn't manage it.
I got an even bigger one than for you, Kuva. Zlatan Ibrahimovic never won. He never. Zlatan never won a Champions League, and he's won everywhere he's gone.
He still won trophies, Bob.
Yeah, but he never won a Champions League.
We're digging a hole for ourselves again. Look at this. The thing.
Alex,
the hole's getting bigger. The hole's getting bigger every single time you're talking, Bob. Yeah.
Steven Gerrard. Okay, who's a bigger Premier League legend, Steven Gerrard or Danny Drinkwater?
Why are we talking about other teams for, Bob?
Because you said it before.
You said
I'm talking about my team. I'm talking about my team. We're talking about
the one that brought up the phone.
Why are we comparing other people right now? When we talking about other teams,
because you mentioned other teams.
Why are you changing the argument for, Bob? Why are you talking about Tottenham for? Bob, I'm going to go Mr. Jamaican man on you, Bob, man. Oh, my gosh, Mr. Jamaican man's going, oh, man.
Jamaican people, listen.
No, Bob, man. Here we go. No, Bob. I'm not even... I'm listening, like I said, Bob, yeah? Like I said, yeah? Right? All I'm saying is, yeah, Harry Kane has not done it in any final or semi-final, bruv. Yeah? Star players get you over that line, bruv. He has not done it. Son hasn't done it. Yeah.
Whose name's on the trophy? Whose name goes on the trophy? Kane's or the club's?
Bruv,
the club's.
All I'm saying is,
team that wins a trophy.
All I'm saying, bruv, you're digging a hole for yourself, bruv. Like I said, Spurs the attitude. As I said before, if Kane is a great player, he would have got us through those finals, bruv. That's all I need to say.
Hang on a minute.
And that's it, simple.
I do agree. A top player would at least get you over the line in at least one of those big finals, big semi-finals.
How about cup final, bruv?
The one semi-final Harry Kane did turn up in was probably the 4-2 we lost to Chelsea. You know, the back header. He played really well.
Still lost.
We were let down by Poch's tactics by playing Son at left wing.
Yeah, but also Kane hasn't done it. We had Ericsson, we had Ali, we had Alderweireld, we had
Vertonghen, Son, Hugo Lloris
in that team.
Yeah, Moussa Dembele, Victor Wanyama, they're all frauds.
They've left the club. They have left the club and they've gone on to win trophies.
Alex, do you want an answer? Do you want an answer to why you're saying that these players haven't won trophies? I'll give you the answer, right? It's because the ambition comes from the people who run the club, right? The board, the owners, and the staff, right? If the ambition isn't aligned, right, then the whole club cannot unite and push on the same front to go and win a trophy. At Leicester, right, when they won those titles, everyone in the club, including the owner at the time, right, before he passed away, every single person in that club wanted the same thing, right? They wanted to win, right? They wanted to win. Every single club you go to, if it's a top club, look at Chelsea. Abramovich won them everything because he wanted to win everything, right? The reason why we haven't won anything is because our owners don't want to fucking win anything. That's the reason.
But my point is, Danny...
No, listen to me. If our owners actually did put their money where their mouth is, right, and actually in crucial times during the last 22 years have gone on and actually backed the managers in those respective eras that those managers were in, right, we would have won trophies. But they didn't. And that's the reason why we're not going to win trophies.
Daddy, where I agree with you, yeah? Daddy, I agree with you there, bruv. You know what? I let my brother, I forgot his name now. Let him talk. Yeah, let you talk, yeah, bruv. Let you talk, bruv. Because you're chatting, bruv. You're just about to say something. I forgot your name, bruv. So it's late in the night. Yeah, Ryan. Sorry, Brian. Yeah. You're my boy, bruv. So yeah, go.
Another example. The year we won the League Cup, 2007-2008, one day Ramos. Do you know what his reward was for winning the League Cup? Berbatov sold, Keane sold, Defoe sold.
Yep.
That's 70 goals taken out your team. Is there a reason why you think 8 games into that season, we were bottom of the league with 2 points.
Exactly.
And
we did. And Ryan, who did we replace him with? Fraser Campbell.
Pavlyuchenko.
Fraser Campbell.
And Campbell on loan.
Yeah,
We
but
brought
oil
Fraser
money.
Campbell in.
But it's oil money, Danny. It's oil money. Oil money.
But we'll learn from this.
Oil money.
One thing I'm saying, why am I having a go at Son and Kane? Yeah, why am I having a go at Son and Kane? Yeah, right. The top players at our club have left our club because they had enough of it. Yeah, Sheringham, Sol Campbell, Walker. Bro,
yeah, so you're pissed off with them
all
for not
top
leaving
players
the club.
left our club.
Your beef is that they stayed at Tottenham.
Bell left our club because he had enough.
So your beef is they're still at Tottenham.
Modric left our club because they had enough. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. When is it gonna start? Yeah, but I do agree with Danny in a certain way. Yeah, but the thing is though, Kane needs to lead Tottenham to get trophies, bruv. That's all I need to say.
We know that, Alex.
Alex, we know that. No fucking trophies at Tottenham, bruv. He ain't winning no fucking trophies.
Is that down to him or the team?
It's the team as well as him as well, bruv. Because the thing is, though,
you said when you came on, though.
You still, look, bruv. No. Still. Mr. Master Talk, Mr. Master Talk, bruv.
Talking shit.
Oh, here we go, bruv. Like I said, yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
I'll get the violin out for you as well, bruv.
Yeah. Your strings are broken, man.
Like I said, yeah. Right? Kane. If he was that good, the GOAT. Yeah, he would have got us through Carabao Cups, bruv. And we should at least won a Carabao Cup with these 2 players, bruv. Yeah. Now all of a sudden,
with Ryan Mason as manager. Jose Mourinho at the back.
And it sums it all up.
And Lo Celso in midfield. With Lo Celso in midfield, Alex, and Mason as manager, you want Kane to lift us the trophy.
Alex, I'm gonna bring my point back that I was talking about, right? So you're talking about Ryan Mason, right? You're talking about what happened when we got into a final and Jose got sacked. Why don't we look at the reason again, which goes back to my point, why Jose Mourinho was sacked 1 week before a final, right? He got sacked because he refused to listen to what Daniel Levy was telling him to do about which players should play in that game, right? Because Daniel Levy wanted to focus on top 4, and Jose said, "I want."
Yeah, he wanted the Southampton game to be the priority over the cup final.
He wanted exactly that. He wanted to prioritize the Premier League, right? Right. So again, it goes back to the ambition of the owners, right? Because if the owners were ambitious enough to win a trophy, right, they would have left Jose for the final to at least give us a chance to win that final, rather than give Ryan Mason his first competitive match as not even a fully licensed manager, right? The game to play against fucking Pep Guardiola in a final against one of the best teams in the world. The only person to beat Pep in a final, other than Klopp recently, at that point, was Jose Mourinho.
Alex, I've got more coaching badges than Ryan Mason, mate. I'm more fucking qualified than He's not even UEFA B.
The point I make, because I keep on hearing now I'm hearing now, everybody's getting excited about the January transfer window now, because everybody's now free for it. Seriously, all of a sudden, like saying,
change the topic,
we're going to get this, we're going to get this player, we're going to get this player, we're going to get this player. And I'm like,
Alex,
really?
Alex, outside of Kane and Son, who do you believe that is to blame?
KAUFF literally said we're not buying anyone this January. What are you talking about? Like, Alex, we agree. You agree with everyone. Like, everyone agrees Kane should have left to win trophies, and everyone agrees this January window is probably going to be a shit show. Everyone agrees what you're saying. I don't get the argument, and you still haven't told me if Defoe's better than Kane.
No, disagree. Kane didn't have to go to win trophies. Levy had to go for Kane to win trophies.
Yeah, exactly.
Better put than me.
Outside of Kane and Son, though, who's to blame?
Ericsson, Dele Alli, Toby,
Alex.
Well,
outside of Kane and Son,
the whole thing. But the point is, if you're going to look at Kane as a world-class player, Son as a world-class player, Kulusevski, who now we're talking about saying that they're rejects now, because everybody's now saying,
name me a better striker.
We were lucky to get. This is KAUFF's saying was he said, we were lucky to get Kulusevski and Bentancur. I think that's what I heard earlier as well. It's like, so all you're describing was like the rejects. What was I saying in January, by the way? Oh yeah, the rejects. I can't believe it. Really? I can't believe it. I must be a genius.
Alex, what do you think of Gunners Galore's comment? What do you think of Gunners Galore's comment? He's saying he would take Kane because he knows, right, that Kane would propel them to go and win a league title.
So why have you not won the Carabao Cup already?
Right.
What does that tell you, Alex? What does that tell you about Harry Kane?
Oh, well, is that Gunners? Is that Arsenal?
Yeah, it's an Arsenal fan. Yeah.
Arsenal fan is saying, give us Kane for 6 months, and he's saying that Arsenal will win the league. And I tell you one thing,
Aldershot.
do you know what? I wouldn't disagree with this. If Kane went to Arsenal and he was at Arsenal right now, I'm telling you, he would propel them to win the league. He's that.
I'm sorry. I need to.
You see how they play. You see how they've been elevated with Jesus, right, up front. Not just because of the goals, and I know he hasn't scored since October, right? But what he does at the front for them by pressing in the way
everything goes through him at the front,
right?
Man.
Now,
he links a lot.
If you put Harry Kane in that position, imagine the goals that he would get with the team that they're playing, the way they're playing at the moment.
I'm sorry, but I can't take Arsenal seriously until March, bruv, because I don't believe.
But at the moment, Alex,
he's a bang average manager, bruv.
I'm taking Arsenal dead seriously.
Sorry,
I can't
take it seriously until March, bruv. I'm sorry.
Then be serious now. Why wait till March?
They're top of the league, mate.
Until March, until April, then we'll see whether they're still there, bruv. Because at the end of the day, they still finished 8th and 5th with one game a week last season, which people keep on forgetting again.
17th the year before they won the league.
Alex, they've been managing the Europa League and winning their Europa League games. And they've lost one Europa League game and drawn one, I think.
Well, let's see.
But they've won every other game in the Premier League.
Let's see when we reject strikers off on an injury.
Alex, can I ask you a question? Alex, can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Just one question. Harry Kane, would Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Leicester, Chelsea, would all those clubs sign Harry Kane right now?
No. I would say
maybe Arsenal, not Man City. Man United wouldn't sign Harry Kane right now.
You're saying United?
Man United might do, yeah.
Right, Chelsea, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Chelsea want a striker. They would do anything.
Newcastle.
Yeah,
maybe.
So 3 out of our 5 main rivals right now would have him. Why? If he's a bottle job, why would they do that?
You don't even need to have Premier League teams. Juventus would have Harry Kane. Barcelona,
Bayern want him.
Bayern Munich would have Harry Kane.
He needs to win a trophy, though, bro. He needs to win trophies.
All these top clubs.
At Tottenham, though, with Levy, really?
The argument, Alex, is none and void, because what you're saying makes no sense, because you're saying that he needs to win a trophy. We all know that he needs to win a trophy, but in his current situation, how is he going to win a trophy? How?
Well, it's either that or he has to leave, because, like I said, time's ticking. Time's ticking.
Alex, he leaves Spurs. Leaves Spurs.
Time's ticking on that contract. Go on, Iggy.
Let's say he leaves Spurs and goes to Bayern Munich, so to speak, or whoever, and he wins stuff there, which he would. What would happen then?
Oh, fuck, can you let him?
What would happen then, in your eyes? What would happen if Kane goes to Bayern Munich and wins the trophy there?
Fuck off.
all in my eyes, all that would happen at Bayern Munich if he was
talking to me, Alex, by the way.
Go on.
Alex's face was like, what?
No, I wasn't even listening. I was listening to Iggy. Go on.
No. All I was saying is, he goes to Bayern Munich, he wins a trophy there. What would change in your eyes regarding Harry Kane? That he did the right thing. He went to Bayern Munich.
He's thought about himself, like every other Tottenham player has done. Gone out for themselves.
So your issue with Kane is he's not selfish.
Well, no, because he needs to do it now. He's got to that point. Like I said, time's ticking.
How can he do it at Spurs? With all the things
time is ticking. A week ago, didn't he?
Huh? Go on,
man. Opportunity a week ago for England.
Well, like I said, time's ticking. Like time's ticking on that contract of his, and time's ticking on Conte's contract as well. I've been told that Conte needs 5 years. Well, that's very interesting when his contract's till the end of the season.
I think end of the day, wouldn't everybody agree if that Kane sees out the rest of his career at Spurs and doesn't win anything, he's going to have big regrets?
Of course he will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I honestly
he'll be the greatest striker in the Premier League to have won nothing.
I think one of the greatest players ever to play in the Premier League to not win anything.
Up with Matt Letizia, probably.
Yeah, I agree. I completely
don't you think the time's gone now? I think he will see out his career at Spurs. I think the regret will be probably looking back. He should have moved earlier when he had the chance. But now I just think he's going to see out his career. Man. He's going to smash every record.
When he went to Man United from us. How old was Teddy?
28, 29?
Yeah, it was late 20s, wasn't it?
So, yeah, Kane's that similar.
I think it's still in time.
I think it's
what is he now? 30.
30.
No, it'd be 30 next summer.
If he doesn't listen, if nothing happens with Conte and the backing and all of that, everything that we've been speaking about tonight, he'll be gone. And if he doesn't go, I'll personally go to Hotspur Way and call him a cunt. I'll tell you that now. I will call him that. I will go to Hotspur Way and I'll call Son that. I'll call Kane. All the people that he's mentioned, I will tell them.
Harry,
I would tell them to leave because I would question their own desire. I would question that desire, but I have to see all the other stuff. That if everything gets confirmed, like we've been speaking in the first part of the show, that we don't do what we're meant to do, we don't back, and Conte leaves, and this usual shit show happens again. I would honestly go to Hotspur.
Can I say, if we lose Kane, I think we lose Kulusevski because he will look at because he's a young guy. He's got no emotional attachment to Spurs whatsoever. He will look at the club and say, "You do not match the ambitions of me, and I know I'm good." I don't see Kulusevski staying.
There you go. Look, Brian just said he was 31 at Sheringham when he signed for United. So it's perfectly in line. It's perfectly in line.
And Brian is like Spurs Wikipedia, so that's probably
except when it comes to Paul Gascoigne, obviously.
How long is Haaland?
I was going to say, look, my opinion about Harry Kane is, I think if Conte does walk out in the summer, I don't think any manager who comes into this club, even if Poch comes back, I don't think that keeps him at the club. I would
lose interest, Danny. Honestly, I would lose interest. I will start
watching.
I will go back to watching the way I was before.
I will lose interest as well, mate.
I was from the sofa.
I will lose interest as well because nothing's going to change, right? Because if you look at it now, right, everyone has to fucking see that. Like anyone who doesn't see, I think, is deluded, in my opinion, right? When Harry Kane, when Nuno came in, right, he got that the failed Manchester move, right? Didn't happen. You could see in Harry Kane on the pitch, his attitude, his mind, where he was. He didn't want to be at the club, right? The only reason he changed and came back on board was because of Conte giving him the belief that if you follow me, I will help you win a trophy at Spurs, right? Yeah. But now what Conte is trying to do is he's trying to get the board to make them believe that if you back me, I will win you a trophy, and he will.
Believe he's got to
right?
do that.
But this goes back to what Kuva says, though, Danny. This goes back to what Kuva says. Okay. Why has he got to prove himself to the board? Why did they hire him in the first place then? What was the point of bringing him in then? This is where I do see Kuva's side of the argument.
Because what they're trying to do, for me, how I see the way they run the club is they will try and bring in everyone and they sell them lies, right? They sell these managers lies, and what they do is they basically say, "Oh yeah, don't worry, we're going to give you what you want." But then when it actually comes to push and shove, when they need to actually do what they need to do to get the players in, they never go over the line to go and get the number 1 target or the number 2 target, and they end up getting the number 3, or what they do is what I've seen Tottenham do is they try and do the bare minimum to make the manager in charge happy until it gets to the point where they cannot go any further, and the club can't go any further unless you take that next step up and go and buy a top quality player. And then what happens is it gets to a crossroad where Levy's like, "Well, I'm not going to do that." And the manager's like, "Well, what else? What more do you want me to do?" It's like Conte is squeezing.
Here's Jed Spence.
Yeah, it's like Conte squeezing every single bit of juice out of these players, and they're trying, and you can clearly see, right? Because before Conte came in, right, we were a team in 7th, 8th, and we were shocking, right? We were terrible. He's come in. He's got a couple of players in that he wanted. Well, Kulusevski and Bentancur. He's now got us to a level where we managed to get top 4 miraculously. How we did it is unbelievable, to be honest with you. And now he's saying, well, if you want more than this, more than struggling to get top 4, then you need to give me better players. He said it publicly many times, right? And like I said, it's going to become to that D-Day between Daniel Levy and Conte. If he doesn't get back the way he wants to get back, where he feels it's enough for him to do his job, then that's it. It's game over. Conte walks, and then the players will follow.
To tie it in with the ambition comes from the top, which it has to, club.
100%.
The owners have to be the ones showing the ambition because everything depends on them. The
100%.
financing everything.
Every team.
But I was going to say, to tie that
Ambition
in,
right
the
here.
lack of ambition that we have is the contract situation. And we're all talking about it. Why would Conte sign if he's not given these guarantees? Why would Levy offer him the contract if he doesn't know Conte's going to be there? If you're the owner and you've got ambition, you slam the contract on the table, say, this is what you're the man I want. This is where we're going.
Yeah.
This is how much we're spending. Here's the plan. Let's go. Sign it or fuck off. We don't get that. It's why is this so difficult? Surely it's a fucking simple idea.
Bang on. Listen, every team that's ever succeeded and won stuff, they've been in unison. Manager, fans, players, they've all been united as one. Owners, yeah, of course. Everybody at the club, nobody excluded.
Well, our fans are split, so.
But this is what I'm saying. But why the fans are the lack of clarity comes from the club, from the top, and they're so cagey. I mean, I'm repeating myself again, but it all stems from them because we would be on board with the owners. We would be on board with absolutely everyone if they completely come out and said, "This is what we want to achieve, and we want to do this between the next 3 to 5 years. This is our aim. This is our targets, footballing targets, not club overall." You can have different type of targets outside the football, but within the football itself, it should be. This is what we want to do, man. And look at Newcastle. They're the next one in line. I'm seeing a lot of comments for that from a Chelsea fan. Listen, mate, when your team, when I was young, when I was in my younger years, right, your team, everyone was when you're in the dugout, when the players used to come out to play Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, they used to look to the left and go, "Move yourself, you pussy-holes." Like you was nothing. Then the money came in, the Russian money came in, and they gave you the status that you currently have today. That's already moved. Abramovich is gone. Man City have come in. Man City, now Newcastle have come in. Every time there's going to be a club that's going to go through that phase, and you would just go back and back further down the line. Tottenham's fortunes could change tomorrow if an Arab or rich owners come in and decide that they're going to splash the money. So any club's fortunes can change. If it what's happening at Newcastle, it can happen with any club right now. So just take it easy with your comments out there, Mr. Blue Line. That's it. It's Blue Line I'm talking to. I'm referring to you. So what I'm trying to say is it's the lack of clarity. Until that clarity comes from the club, if they lack the ambition, sell the club, let somebody else take over. But what these guys are doing, they're going to carry on, and then they've got the next in the throne. You've got the son or the daughter. They're going to take over, and this shit show carries on more and more and more. And it's just, I don't know how long I will go on before I completely lose interest in it all, because one thing I hate about any football team, whether it's my team or any football team, is when they're not clear with their ambition and the plans and the project with their fans. I think the fans should always be at the central point and be, because they give up a lot of their time, the money, everything for their club. They live for the club. So they should be involved in the plans of that club. Otherwise, you know what? Fuck it off.
I just want to say something, because I'm going to have to go soon, because I wasn't going to plan to come on anyway. I only come because my boy Danny, even though he's deluded, want me on. He wanted.
We're not worthy.
But like I said, I'm getting bored. I'm just getting bored. I'm bored of hearing about Levy. I'm bored of him. I'm bored of it.
He's our owner, man. Is it the owner of the club?
No, I'm bored of it. You know what I mean? I'm actually doing something like an exclusive on my channel. Well, that's why I haven't been doing.
Oh, exclusive.
You know what I mean? If you don't know, get to know. You know what I mean? So but because I'm working on that at the moment. Yeah, but some of the stuff I've looked back at the past, and I'm looking at it, and just some of the stuff I've seen in the past. And yeah, someone said it earlier today. I wasn't living in that sort of era, so I wouldn't really care, to be honest with you, because I didn't live it that era. You know what I mean? The era is only going to be like when I was Harry Redknapp, and when George Graham was in charge, when I won the first trophy in my lifetime. and then Ramos when he won the trophy, and then Martin Yol and stuff like that as well. But all I've really known is Carabao Cups and disappointments as a Tottenham fan. Let's be honest here. You know, that's all I've known. That's all I've known. You know,
it's a fair summary, man. You're not wrong. You're not wrong,
it's
man.
just like the only time I started to really interesting, I really felt connected was when Poch was in charge, and I didn't even want him in the first place. So work that one out. You know, I only started believing when I started seeing what was going on, the fruits of what was going on. You know, and then I started to get disconnected is when Mourinho came in charge, and I had to start eating a shit sandwich. Sorry to people with my language. I had to start eating shit sandwiches because this guy supposedly is a winner, and we need to win something right now. You know what I mean? And now Conte's here. I don't like his football. To be honest with you, I never wanted him in the first place, to be honest with you. But I've got respect for the guy, yes. But what Alistair Gold said was absolutely spot on in his video. He said, the youngsters in our team at the moment, they're going. They're off. It's goodbye to them. You know, they're not getting no chances anymore. You know, so there is a consequence.
Not good enough. They're not good enough, Alex.
They might not be good enough.
They're
but
not.
The consequences of him coming in and him not getting what he wants is having consequences on our youngsters as well, and the whole team as a far. And this is where my concern is at the moment, as well as a club. But I don't see us winning anything under this regime for a long time because, as I said before,
I agree with that.
Why the hell have we not won a Carabao Cup, right, with two of the best players in the world? Why have we not won the Carabao Cup?
Because they're surrounded by shit.
And that's not just excuses because we got shit around us.
It's a fact, Alex.
I've seen worse teams than us winning Carabao Cups, winning FA Cups. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, I can't let that go. And that's it.
You know what? Big up to you, Alex. You know, I got the brave. You do. I mean, regardless if I agree with you or not, you got. You know, there's a lot of bravery about you to come on and give your opinion and actually sit there next to a bottle of cream by your bedside. on YouTube. Big up, mate. Big up.
That's going to wankty wank.
Well, I think it's a fitting time.
The reason youth are all going is because they're not good enough. When Antonio Conte was the manager of Inter Milan, he saw a young 19-year-old centre-back called Alessandro Bastoni, and he put him straight in the team, and he said, "You're my guy."
Umbrella. Because he was good enough.
Umbrella, because he was good enough. The youth set up at Tottenham, just like Stel said, is not good enough at all.
Oh, it's what Alistair Gold was saying. Alistair Gold was saying recently that Conte wants the club, right, to get their academy up to a higher standard because he will pick players from the academy if they're good enough. But the problem we've got is that they're not good enough. Our academy players are just not good enough, and that's because of the lack of the way the club's been run with the academy because they don't care about it.
I've explained to you what happens at the Spurs Academy. Straight from the top of the club, they do not allow the academy to have any influence from the first team, and the first team is forbidden to have influence on the academy because on average, a manager at Spurs lasts 18 to 24 months. And because Levy knows that, he refuses to allow the manager to have any impact on the academy because the manager won't be there by the time he has any kind of impact. And then the new manager comes in and wants it done differently. So it's all good and well, Alex. You know, love you to bits. You know, whenever I see you, man, we always catch joke, have a drink, go out for dinner. But you saying you're fed up of Levy this, Levy that. Levy put that in place. You don't like the fact that these kids aren't getting a chance under Conte. Levy brought in Conte. Everything starts at the top. And I think we're now at a stage after 22 years of this, and it's still going. You've got to now say, it's you at the top. We've changed everything. Academy, building, stadium, full team managers, 100 players, coaches, sporting directors, head scouts. We've changed everything. It's the man at the top, man. So that's it for me, man.
Well, do you know, I think we should maybe move into a little tribute segment that we wanted to do. And seeing as that Bob Spur is here, we might as well do it. It's going to be a short segment, guys. But Ben, do you want to get ready and roll out our intro, mate?
Don't eat my cream.
But we're going to bring up, before we segue into...
No, let's do that bit after. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Alex will do that bit after. And then we'll,
yes, seeing as In the Wall is not on tonight, this is In the Wall slot, because we love talking about Bob's slot. We have been allowed to bring over one of Bob's games into the show tonight, and we hope you're going to enjoy it. And we've got a special intro for it. So we're going to run the VT and play this game. Your favourite game from Bob Spur TV. It is Guess the Celebrity. So Bob has got a wild imagination, and he's spent all afternoon photoshopping his favourite celebrities. And what we're going to do is we're going to guess who they are. So Danny,
all the easy ones this week.
So Bob, I'll let seeing as you're here, I think I'll let you do the honors. I'll bring the pictures up, and then we'll start from the top. So everyone, go on, Bob. I'll let you go.
That's easy one, man. Easy one.
So guys, who is this celebrity?
Easy.
Is that Barbara Streisand?
Oh, close.
Close.
I thought you was going to say Meghan Markle.
Mate, she's
Close.
white, Iggy. She's white.
Who has to be
Well, Bob's very special with it. When it comes to like
Shocked it.
chops, it can end up being Michael Jackson.
Should we see then? Should we see?
Yeah, go on.
It's
Easy, man. Easy.
I mean,
Fuck my life. Fuck my life.
The nose.
The nose. Yeah.
Was that Brian doing an impression of you in a coma?
It was, yeah. It was, yeah.
You were in a coma.
This is
Oh,
two
we had to do it
in
in a
one
coma.
thing then.
I mean, how the hell? There's not one bit of it is resembled.
There is. They both have noses.
So guys,
They both have noses,
They
just
have
not the
noses.
same ones.
Not so.
I
I'm
think-
going to do a step by step next time on my show. Show
I think
everyone
you
how
should. I think we'll do the next one. So, guess celebrity.
oh no.
I know this.
Alex,
I know this.
CHFC.
This is Alex.
Alex,
This is Alex.
Alex.
Alex, he left the show as well just before he brought him up.
After you abused him.
Celeb status.
It's gone off to use that cream.
Shouldn't that have been in a box?
Yeah.
Post box, yeah. All right, let's bring up the next one then. Who is this lovely
Easy.
lady?
That's
Come
easy.
on,
man.
this you've got to get this one. This is so easy,
It's
guys.
Danny.
Kuva will get this.
Whoever it is, I would.
Oh dear.
No, tell me it's me.
Oh,
No, tell me it's me.
I know you're gonna show it.
yeah, you ready? Should we show
I
it?
still would. I still would.
Oh,
I'm committed.
no.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
You mean whoever it is you probably did?
That is
brilliant.
fucking alarming.
Who is this
easy.
lovely lady?
Oh god, it's got to be Gary
wait a
Glitter. Then.
minute.
Oh no.
Something a little bit familiar about this.
Yeah.
Go on, Kuba. Who do you think it is?
Oh, trying to pick it. It's
Henry Cavill, isn't it?
that's it.
Spot on.
It
Henry
is.
Cavill. It was Henry Cavill.
There you go.
Well in. So how many points is that, Bob?
Fucking £874 million.
Woohoo!
Send it in a super chat.
Easy one.
Who's this lovely one? Come on, you got to get this.
It's Coover.
No, it's Ranjit. It's Ranjit.
No,
It's
close.
close. It's close.
Close.
Iggy.
Rez.
It's very close. You're getting warmer.
Rezjit.
Even closer.
I'm gonna go with Rez, man.
Is it Bob?
Nope. It's Sana.
Took a pretty girl like that and you decimated her, man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, that's her right picture, man. Don't say that.
That's what she looks like on a Monday.
Lucky you.
She says the same thing about you, Daddy.
Next one.
Here we go. That's easy.
Lovely
That's
woman.
Samuel Jackson.
There we go. Nice.
Yeah,
and
really?
easy.
that was nice and easy. Nice and
There you
easy.
go. The nose.
Yep, definitely. Next one.
Easy.
Come on, you got to get this.
Oh, recognise those eyes, definitely.
Yeah, you do, Coover. Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's Coover then.
No. Oh,
Who else is this?
Christ.
Got no idea.
Ah, God.
No, it's not God. You're close, though. You're close.
Jesus.
Not Southgate, is it?
Not
Yeah.
Jesus.
Is it a comedian or sort of some sort?
Yeah, close. Very close.
Close.
That means
Prince
it
Harry.
isn't.
Prince Harry.
Comedian.
Yeah, Prince Harry.
He's definitely a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah, look.
There you go.
Ah.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Who's this
That's
one?
easy.
Come on, you got to get this one.
Yeah.
That is just Danny with his hair down.
Who's this?
I ain't got a fucking clue who it is.
Yes, you
so-
do.
Is it Ben?
She looks a bit. Probably today she felt a bit gay.
Yeah.
Felt a bit Jewish.
Oh, not Gianni Infantino, surely.
It's so easy now you see it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Danny,
we'll go on to the next
keep
one.
going. We've lost 22 viewers. Keep going.
There you go. Nice, easy one.
That's
Come
Bob.
on, you gotta get-
Bob. That's Bob.
Look at the eyes. Oh, fuck off,
Bob.
Stel.
Where's Mundo?
Look at the eyes. The eyes is a good
The
one.
eyes. In and around the eyes. Not
I'm
the
getting,
eyes.
I'm getting excited. I don't want to look at his eyes. Did George Michael?
Close.
It's Ranjit.
Yeah, it is Ranjit.
Meghan Markle. Okay.
I'm possibly the
We got a
worst
couple more. We got a couple more, then we're done. Right. Come on, this one.
Right, so that's going to be a black bloke, isn't it? About 70 years old, without glasses.
So it's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
It's close. Come on, you got to get this.
Look at the forehead.
Oh,
Daniel Levy.
Oh, shut up, Bob. Your clues are worse than anything on this.
No, seriously, look at the forehead. Look at the
Do
line.
you know what? Yeah, Danny says every time.
Oh,
You got to
Ronaldo.
get this.
Gordon Ramsay.
Ronaldo.
Gordon
Good.
Ramsay, he got it.
Well done. Well done.
Kuba's on fire tonight.
Yeah.
Come on, who is this? Who is this lovely?
This
bastard?
easy.
Mbappe, come on.
Why did you not crop the fucking picture?
Yeah, I did.
Holding up a Ballon d'Or. Or whatever
I
it
was
is.
going to go for Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have copped that. To be fair. Come on, you got to get this one. Kuba, you know this.
Is
Messi?
it Ben with his hair down?
Really?
Leo Messi.
Close.
Close. Plays a bit like Messi.
That tag?
Plays like Messi. It's not Ronaldo, is it?
No.
No, it's not Ronaldo.
Who the fuck plays like Messi?
Plays like Messi. Diego. Can't be.
Yeah,
Diego.
he plays like Messi. Yeah,
And Diego.
yeah, and Diego.
Plays like Messi and Diego. Some fucking player, man.
Come
Harry
on,
Kane.
he's a big player.
Harry Kane not in
with a big one. Ah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's Eric
not-
Dyer.
not R9.
Any more guesses?
Oh,
It's
no.
Eric Dyer.
You go, Lloris.
Close.
No idea.
Close. It's me.
Oh, fuck right
Plays
off.
like Messi and Maradona. Yeah.
And he's got a big one.
The
Yeah,
hair
got a
gave
big
it away.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Cuba should have got that. All right, we got a couple more, and that's it.
Fuck it, I thought you got it. Oh, it's easy.
Come on.
Ranjit.
Close.
Oh, she's Italian.
I think it's
She's
me,
the Italian stallion.
It's
think
that's
Iggy.
That's
Ranjanita.
me. That's me. It's the jacket. I recognise the jacket.
You look good as a girl.
Stella know this.
Come on, Stel.
Oh, fuck, you know, I know this. Damn it.
Still, this is a familiar place.
Ben.
It's the mouth.
Come on, Stel.
Oh, shit. I'm going to fuck this up.
Well, Ralph the Mouth from Happy Days. No, it's not actually.
Come on, who is it?
It's Coover with long hair. No.
Do you know what?
It's not me.
It's the mouth, man. I know it's the mouth.
It's Cuba when he was younger.
Yeah.
It's a small body frame, man. So
Come on, you got 10 more seconds to guess, Stel. Come on.
Stell, you should get this, man. I'm disappointed if you don't get this.
I know, man. I feel so bad. Is someone? Is it Scott?
You're not going to feel bad, Stell.
Is it Miles?
Close.
Oh my god!
And we'll end it on a final one. You got to get this one. You got to get this. Come on.
oh, come on.
And THFC.
Yeah.
It's the cap.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
that's the only thing.
Can't even say I would because then you'd just be asked which one.
If you said I would,
Stell said he would, Jimmy Savile. So
I couldn't have picked a worse one, right? I literally couldn't have picked a worse one. Well, no, if I said I would to Dan, then that meant I would have shagged a bloke and been a paedophile. And
Just let it go already, man. Let it go. Just keep fucking digging. Just keep digging.
I thought it turned into wankety wank. Sorry, I was trying to make an effort. You know?
Oh god.
put me
Yeah.
down there again.
So
Oh, yeah.
that segment of the show was sponsored by. It's been a year since Bob had his small holiday that he had last year. So Bob has sent us a quote that he'd like us to bring up.
I'll read it out if you want.
But
I'm here now.
you're here now, but I made a nice graphic, so I'm putting the
Oh, did you?
fucking
All
graphic
right.
up.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
he did
putting
make
it
a
like-
good
You
graphic.
can read it, Bob, but here's
No,
the
it's all right.
graphic. So now you can read it.
Yeah, basically, every minute I'm living now, it's more about the NHS. Basically, but every minute I'm living now is a minute I wasn't this time last year. Friends and family had started talking about my funeral, and it looked like the end was near. It's the hard work of the staff of Princess Alexandra Hospital and Milton Keynes who saved me. They risked their lives to save mine during the high of the Delta COVID virus. It's absolutely sickening what the NHS workers are having to take drastic measures to get not only what they want, but what they deserve. They work hours on end and get treated like peasants, being charged to park up at place of work, having to sleep overnight in staff rooms as it's cheaper, having to pay for accidental damage to equipment out their own pockets, have a non-existent supportive network, shocking train modules. Is disgusting. As a community, we've raised nearly 8k for the hospital, with donations still coming in, evidence of the love and support towards a great institution. Yet words such as bad publicity, wrong timing, and embarrassing has been used to hold back our presentation of generosity. But it will come. Me and my brothers are waiting. It's sickening, it's disgusting, it's sad, and it's our time you provided these people with the life they deserve. After all, it's these people who brought you into this life. Big up the NHS. It's just shit, man. Just shit what they're going through at the moment. And yeah, it's Yeah, it's just crap, and the fact they have to take drastic actions for that is just sickening. But I don't want to put a downer on shit. I didn't expect it to come in. I thought we were going to do it right at the end. But yeah, awareness, give them the support, man. And every minute I'm living right now is this time last year I was dead. So yeah, big up, man, and thanks.
Big up.
And if you wish to donate to Bob's thing, they are still taking donations at PayPal, Bob Spur TV NHS. So anyone that wishes to give, just go over to PayPal and you can send a donation, and they will be presenting a massive thing. Oh yeah, to the guys at Princess Alexandra Hospital.
We're nearly at 8K. Well, we're still doing it, and I'd say Brian and Rez are at the ready. It's finding the right time at the moment. With all the publicity that they're getting, we're just hearing a lot of shit going around. Shit that shouldn't be going around. Yeah. So if any awareness we can do, it's all good. But anyway, back to Wank to Wank.
Back to Wank.
We'll go for maybe like another 10-15 minutes. That's good with everyone else, and then we'll wrap it up. Because Stell's getting hungry now. You can see he's in that hungry mode. It's when he starts eating.
I'm going to ask you. You talked about Dele Alli earlier.
Yeah, go on.
Can I ask you a question?
Go on.
Do you think there's nothing I've seen that Jude Bellingham has done that Dele Alli couldn't have done and didn't do in his plum? If there's anything that should be pissing Dele Alli off right now, is watching Jude Bellingham, because I believe there's nothing that Jude Bellingham's done that Dele Alli couldn't do. And he must be
what Jude has though. What Jude has already, even when he speaks, he's maturity, he's years ahead. And that was the problem with the problem.
But what about skill-wise? What about skill-wise?
No. Footballer. I don't think perhaps. All right, they play different positions, but I don't think Dele technically had anything to be envious of what Jude has. What I would say though, that for me with Dele Alli was more of a social thing. He didn't grow up. While it was all the things he was doing, because he was young, it was like, yeah, he will grow up. He will grow up. Then guess what? He became 26 years old, and he's still socially he was backwards. And I think Jude should look at Dele and think Jude seems maybe it's not for him, but Jude seems to be more rounded. And I say that not from a footballing perspective per se, but up here he seems to be years ahead. For those who say that he was the best young player of the tournament, I think he was a very good player, a very good young player of the tournament. But to say he was the best young player of the tournament, I would say, man, look, I think Cavadio has got be worth a mention.
Yeah, but I didn't realise he was 20 years old.
Do you know what I mean? But having said that, look, Jude, football now, it's not just ability. It's up here, man.
Iggy,
the people you surround yourself with, your professionalism, everything comes into question.
Got good family, innit?
You said it. You said it yourself, right? You said it yourself, Iggy. The biggest difference I see in Jude Bellingham, I think Bellingham's a bit more of a stocky player. Like he's a bigger lad, right? And I think like the position, I know he plays a different position, but Bellingham plays more like a central midfielder. Yeah. And obviously the in terms of skill, I think Dele Alli could do what Bellingham could do when Dele Alli was in his prime. If not, Dele Alli is even more. Obviously, he's more of a goal scorer because he could play those amazing balls, and he played brilliant pass. Look at the pass, the flick he did for Mora in that Champions League semi-final. That's intelligence, right? I mean, well, yeah. I mean, the difference is. The difference is the mentality. When you listen to Jude Bellingham speak, and on the pitch, Jude Bellingham's a leader. Look what happened to Harry Kane when he missed that penalty. Jude Bellingham was the first one to run up to him and put his arm around him to keep his head up. Right? And Dele, you think Dele Alli would ever do something like that? He never did anything like that.
I think
right?
Jude's got more of a football intelligence. I think he scans the game a lot better.
He does.
I think his understanding of the game. I think Dele understood his own game. I don't know how much he understood about other people's game, because the best thing about the player that can have is understanding what he should be doing, understanding his own game, but understand where every single player should be at every given moment. Yeah. Jude Bellingham, and I've seen him play, he has awareness. He understands He has that more know-how about it.
It's also
But
Iggy,
it's intelligence.
but it's not just the
And
intelligence.
Dele Alli's thick as shit. We know that.
Yeah,
We
it
all
is,
know
but
this.
it's the mentality. When you listen to what Bellingham says and the way he speaks about his own game, right? He not just that, he speaks like he wants to be the best, right? Dele Alli not once ever in an interview came out and said, "I want to be the best attacking midfielder on the planet."
He thought he had made it.
Yeah, he thought he had made exactly because he got the money, because he got the limelight and the fame, because he was Tottenham's PR golden boy, the star boy, the young England player, and all this kind of shit.
He believed his hype.
Yeah, he believed his hype, and because he didn't stay grounded like people like Harry Kane when Harry Kane was coming through, Harry Kane always had the mentality: I want to be better every single year. I want to be the. How can I improve? Look at Kulusevski.
I think
right?
Saka's got that in him as well. By the way,
I do as well. I do as well.
By the way, I think Saka had a brilliant tournament as well. I don't want to discredit Saka as a young player that didn't play. He did well. I'd say Jude Bellingham well, but if I have to pick my favourite young player of the tournament, I'm going to give it to Gavardio because I think he was immense for Croatia this whole tournament.
Oh yeah, he's going to get.
They came third. They came third.
So for me,
and he scored a brilliant diving header today, didn't he?
Danny, do you remember when Kyle Walker-Peters broke into the first team?
Yeah,
at Spurs. I spoke to his one of his coaches, Michael, at the academy, and I said to him, "Why did Walker-Peters break through?" And he said to me that from day one, he was never the best player. And throughout the years, he was always middle of the row. So in a good, to be an academy, you've got to be good. Out of a good bunch, he was an average player. Yeah. But the one thing he always did was he was the first in, the last out, and he listened to every single word the coaches told him, right? Attitude always supersedes talent. Because Marcus Edwards at the same time was a phenomenal talent. Like these kind of baller dribblers don't come along often. He was the real deal. Marcus Edwards was the bomb, but he was knocking around with all the wrong people. He was a rude boy, bad boy, street, and Spurs just couldn't get through.
Messi comparison came in, he was gone.
Yeah, that was it.
Pochettino said he did wrong saying that.
But his attitude, Iggy, it wasn't right, man.
I heard all about it. He went to Norwich.
And Dele Alli had the right attitude. He did. That's why he got to where he was.
Still, listen.
In that process, his attitude, it changed. And that's where it went wrong. You've got to maintain that attitude. Ronaldo and Messi have maintained the attitude forever. Yeah, that's why
it's like amazing. If you look at the young player, like, so if you give an example, right? If you look at the young players right now, like Kulusevski, Saka, Bellingham, these type of players, they all say the right things in terms of their game and how they want to keep improving and they want to get better. They want to be better players all the time.
They're mature. They listen to the people around them.
Did you ever hear Dele Alli say, I want to get better every time. I want to be better this year. I want to be better this year. He never had that mentality, right? Look at what
he did come from a broken home though, didn't he, Dele, though?
Yeah, but it does, okay. It might maybe a broken home, but still, how many players have come from broken homes and been top players, right? It happens. It's about how you dedicate yourself to the game. He never dedicated himself to the game to become the best because, like Iggy said, once he got all those accolades of the money, the fame, he was on the posters of England, he was on the newspapers, he was the big name in English football, right? Once he got that, he never put that, took it with a pinch of salt and thought it's nothing until I achieve something in my football career. Right?
To be fair to Pochettino though, when he was talking about Marcus Edwards, there was all the talk about the low centre of gravity, quick to turn, quick with his feet. It's all great stuff, but there was one part of it he said that was absolutely like a prophecy that it came true, and the comparison was they both fucked off to Spain when they were teenagers.
Yeah, it's true. But it's funny though.
Do you know what it is?
It's funny.
The difference is with Dele Alli, he knew that he had the ability.
Only Cooper.
And until the ability got him out of those situations, he was fine because he absolutely rinsed it. He smashed it on ability wise. But what it is, that if your attitude doesn't match your ability can only get you so far. A player that's got less ability, but has got a attitude up here, he can always bring that ability level up. He'll never be a great, but he can bring it up. How do you bring attitude up? If you either have it or you don't. It's not something that you can, do you know what, tomorrow I'm going to go into work on time. That should already be there in place. You don't decide when you switch the ability, the attitude on. And that's why people will say
when you coach players, one thing you cannot do is motivate someone that doesn't want to be motivated. And if Dele Alli did not want to be motivated, you can't motivate him. Doesn't matter what trick, what sorcery, even if you're Sir Alex Ferguson, if he don't want to be motivated, there's nothing you can do.
Well, with that, look, Marcus Edwards, right? Even his manager right now, even not long ago, was saying how he's still a bad trainer and he needs to train like he's playing in a match, like he's going 100%, right?
He won't go much higher, Marcus Edwards.
Of course he won't, Stell, because he doesn't have the attitude to be the best or to actually maximize his ability and actually fulfill his actual potential. But he'll never fulfill that potential because he doesn't have the mentality.
He's got 50 grand a week. He's a pro football player.
He doesn't give a shit. Yeah, he don't care.
Come from Edmonton.
I think
tough area. From where he is now, it's a big step up.
Or moves to the Spanish league. I think that will suit him as a player as well.
Yeah, but he'll never make it in England because he's not good enough. He hasn't got the attitude. Where he is now.
Can I ask you something?
Go on.
You know when we were on the up under Poch, and then we hit that point of where we just stopped buying players for a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
If we kept investing and we brought in a quality striker to back Kane to come off the bench, if we bought another solid cover at centre back, another quality wing back, another creative mid, if we
champions by now.
But do you think in that upward trend, that constant progression, trophies and basically what Liverpool did, what Klopp did to Liverpool, because we were at the same, and then Liverpool went the right way, we went the wrong way. If we did what Liverpool did, which is what we should have done, do you think Dele Alli would have turned out the same way? Or do you think partly our demise was part of his demise as well?
Yeah.
I think his demise would have happened regardless. Because I just don't think he had the attitude. I think it was masked by a lot of things. But his ability got him out of those situations. When his ability was no longer making effect, it was no longer making a difference. His attitude showed.
I would agree with you, Star.
Because even Eriksen went to shit for us.
How often do we say, even with this current squad, we bring better players in, it will elevate them players to work? Would have worked for Dele Alli then. Yeah. Dele Alli didn't have any proper competition.
Exactly that.
Not only that. I would have agreed. I agree with you still, but the fact that Eriksen, went on to better team, but he made it at Inter Milan. They love him there. He came back to Brighton. He made it. There's that change of mentality. Dele Alli's had three chances to go into other team. And if anything, it'd be easier for him to show up and show what he's made of. And the fact he's not being able to do it at a lesser team, the argument could be that's probably
they hate him at Besiktas.
They should say quality-wise, he's better than any player at Everton. Technically, he's probably one of the best players at Everton on paper. But like you say, mentality, man, wasn't there. So it never. That for me is the biggest difference.
But I think if we had invested more when Poch was there, and Dele Alli dropped his form at that point, we would have been just happy to sell him earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just nowhere. When that season, that 15-16 season, when we're chasing Leicester, just imagine if we had bought in somebody like a Van der Vaart as there to come on and change games. We'd be talking about league champions, wouldn't we?
Kuva, it's about that competition, right? And I think it does come hand in hand, and obviously Dele Alli's mentality is part of it, right? 100%. But you have to also understand the mentality that he did have. It because he didn't have the competition, didn't allow him to push himself to be better. Because when he was picked, he was the only choice. Because he knew, regardless of whether he was playing bad or not, there was no one else to play. Pochettino was always going to play him because we didn't have anyone.
I remember some of those benches we looked at. You'd have Bentaleb, Mason, Davies,
and Dele Alli would look at that and be like, "I'm never going to lose my place to these players." players. So why do I have to keep pushing myself to be a better version of myself if just doing what I'm doing and my talent alone and my ability alone is going to get me in the team because I'm better than them, right? Because he didn't have someone better than him, he never had to push himself. And that is a massive, massive downfall into all of our players, not just Dele Alli, why they all dropped, because they didn't have the competition.
Kind of symbolic of the club over the last
exactly.
year, doesn't it?
The first sign he had
during Dele's pomp, I don't remember any, of the elite clubs, let's say. Any of the rumours of him going there, becoming Kane there was, Dier there was when Dier was playing well, Eriksen, obviously the Madrid links. I don't remember much with Dele Alli. So maybe other clubs kind of saw it that maybe that was his level.
The first challenge
I think clubs are scared of dealing with Levy as well now. I think they just don't want to deal with him. They know he's a cunt.
He's hard work. But the first challenge he ever had, Dele Alli that is, was when Mourinho was locked. First he called him out for being lazy in training, and then when he had that meeting in his office, and they locked eyes, and he told him straight, he goes, "My worry for you is that you're going to look in 3 or 4 years' time, you're going to look back at this conversation and have regrets." He called it then, and now after so many years, he fucking. You know what? Jose got a lot of things wrong, man, but certain things like that, he was bang on the money because he saw something in him that switched off. And what did Dele do on the back of that? He didn't do absolutely anything. He didn't change.
He just smirked. He just smirked.
Yeah, he smirked. Yeah, he smirked.
Because he didn't
He
believe.
put in a shift for about 2 weeks or something. He had a couple of good games.
Yeah.
That was it.
He scored like 3 or 4 goals in like 3 or 4 games, and that was it.
He thought, I reckon Dele sat there thinking, "You're wrong, mate. You're wrong to be thinking that about me." And he just thought it wasn't going to happen. And it did, man. The Everton move, the Besiktas move. And I don't know, goodness knows where he's going to go. And you think, how old is he now? 26, 27?
He will retire in the next 2 years.
Finished, man.
The fact that, if you look at his career at Spurs, he was bad for us longer than what he was good for us.
Yeah.
He was bad for us for a longer period than what he was good.
Such
I think
a
that
shame.
sums up not only Dele Alli, but sums up Spurs, man.
It was bad for Spurs, it was bad for England because this guy had it all. He at one point he had half of Europe was after him, and such a terrible demise. It's incredible how quickly he failed, man.
Could say the same to a lesser degree with Winks as well, because there was a point when Winks played really well for us.
Yeah. Spain at one point, Spain tried to get him to play for the national team. No word of a lie. Before he chose England,
for me, the Harry Winks downfall was completely down to that injury.
I agree. I agree.
Prior to the World Cup,
wasn't it against Burnley? Wasn't it where he fell into the dugout or something like that, and he injured? He had a really bad injury.
I don't know when that was, but I know he got injured because we were all clambering for him to be in that World Cup squad in Russia because I thought he was certainty to go. But then he got injured about 3 months before the World Cup. It might have been February, March time. And
then trying to turn him into a CDM, Ryan, was a shambles. Absolutely shambolic.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I never saw Michael Carrick at Spurs, but Michael Carrick at Man United, there was a lot of similarities with him and Winks at Spurs during
Carrick was phenomenal.
You
could see him at Spurs, man, from a mile off. Just and he was so underrated at Spurs. But
I think
quality at Man United, then it
wasn't
Carrick. You don't need to give him any greater accolade than saying Sir Alex Ferguson knew what he was getting.
Didn't Alex Ferguson say he's one of the best players he's ever managed? He was in his biography or autobiography he read, whatever it was.
When he managed Man United, he won 3 in a row as well. After Ollie, even as a manager, he won 3 in a row.
And he should have been a bigger part of that of the national team than but
I agree.
But he was up against few good players. There's no way a Carrick-esque player would not have got the caps for Spain, Germany, Italy, Argentina. No way.
Carrick for Spain would have been like Xavi Alonso.
Listen, Carrick, even for Italy, man, we love players like that. We love players in those roles.
Just think, we lament him going, but just think how it must have felt being a West Ham fan. Carrick, Cole, Lampard, Rio Ferdinand.
Defoe, Joe Cole.
West
Good.
Ham
Good.
in
They
that
deserve
era
it.
had the best product, best academy. There were really so many players from there.
Because Tony Carr was the best youth coach in the land at the time. He was at West Ham. Carr was a top. And do you know who was on his level? And we fucking got rid of him. Chris Ramsey at Spurs. Ramsey at Spurs. Ramsey brought through Kane. Because Ramsey was the wave of youngsters that were beginning to come through was Ramsey's work. And then what did we do? We binned him because he became assistant of And what's he like QPR? He's developed Eze, who then went to
Palace.
And he developed that other young lad.
Reading, wasn't
he? Eze come from QPR.
It was Reading.
No, Eze was at QPR. He might have gone on loan there, then gone there. Chris Ramsey's developed a couple of Premier League players now. He was at Spurs. Chris Ramsey should have taken over from McDermott when McDermott left Tottenham to go and join the FA, the head of our academy. We should have brought in Chris Ramsey and Chris. What do we do? Because he's still young, man. He's an unbelievable youth coach. He's a real deal. And we binned him. We fucking binned him, man.
I saw him recently.
He's
under 23s. Under 23s team when it played Haringey-Borough, and I was there, and he was managing the under 23 side. So he's in complete control of the QPR kids.
Let me tell you something amazing about Chris Ramsey, right? When he coaches, so when he wants to develop his team, he's brilliant, man. You see coaches, they're locked in. He's as soon as he walks in, you don't even know him. There's an aura. Like, he's so confident at how good he is. They're the kind of people. If Spurs Academy had people like that, it would be a different story. But we don't. We're full of fucking yes people, man. We've become a yes people.
To move on to that point, right, what you just said. So I want to ask all of you a question, right, about this. Do you think that Spurs, what they do when do you think they're too sentimental then when they bring in coaches like Jermaine Defoe to try and train them, Ryan Mason, all these type of people? Do you think it's a sentimental?
No, it's people pleasing. Dan, all that is trying to get us as fans on board. Oh, we got Yaya Toure now. Oh, Jermaine Defoe. They're trying to. It's like they're trying to mind. So saying, "Oh, well,
what the fuck has Ryan Mason ever achieved, man?"
That sense of security is bullshit because it's still lack direction. What is Jermaine Defoe actually doing?
Yeah, Pat Jennings is fucking 80 years old. He's
actually doing at the club.
80 years old.
Are you clear what Defoe's doing at the club? Or do you
But this is what I'm saying, Iggy. This is why our academy is so bad, because still Daniel Levy has got this fucking disgusting sentimentality about bringing average people into work at this club, and we have average results in all the departments of our structure, right? He's trying to get, if it was up to, I mean, if you look at it, right, why is our academy so shit? Because all the good people who are in our academy have fucked off because the club have got rid of them. They want to bring in Jermaine Defoe, and they want to bring in.
Look at what happened when Paul Mitchell left as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He made it quite clear that it's impossible to work with Levy. Yeah. If you're trying to recruit people, it doesn't matter whether it's like the youth academy, you can't. Young players, or even the senior players. Levy had to get involved on everything. He made his I think the quote was, "He made my dream job into a nightmare."
Yep, that's exactly what the quote was.
Cooper, do you know what it is?
His dream job, Paul Mitchell's dream job.
Cooper, do you know what it is, right? You'll get fans that will say, yeah, but Levy should make the decisions. He should be in charge. That's what bosses do. And I totally agree with that. I think Levy should have the final say. But areas that he has no clue about, like football, like the coaching, the developing, the winning, that stuff, he should not touch. He shouldn't even interfere in the slightest, like a Jed Spence deal. Stay out of it, man. Employ people.
You shouldn't come to football if you're a business.
Well, look at our board.
He employed the best people to build the stadium, and he said, "Build it." Right? He said, "Build it. Keep me in the loop." With the football team, he can't do it. For some reason, he can't just say, "Get on with it. Just keep me in the loop." He's got to fucking interfere, man. He's all. I don't
Yeah,
know
but
why.
that's the control freak. That's just he's a control.
That's his
freak,
downfall, man. That's his downfall. As his legacy is going to be wank, absolute wank. His legacy.
Guys,
No
I'm
trophies.
going to shoot, man.
Yeah, I got to go.
We might as
Guys,
well
I'm
wrap
going
it
to
up.
shoot.
We might
I
as
got
well
work.
wrap
I
it up.
got work in 4.5 hours.
I've been there before. I've been
Shit,
there before. I know
well,
exactly what that feels like.
Danny.
We might as well wrap it up, Ben.
Yeah, Danny.
All
let's
right.
wrap it
All
up.
right, no
We'll
worries,
wrap it
man.
up. We'll wrap it up because it's
Somebody's
late.
coming. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can see
Go on,
Danny's
Ben.
eyes. Oh no! Oh no!
So, before we decide to wrap up, let's see where everyone is on the interwebs. So, Stel and Iggy, where can we find you, boys?
What was it today? Saturday, Monday. Well, tomorrow we're gonna be tomorrow night. I'm assuming after the World Cup final. No, it's gonna be night time. What time is the World Cup final? 3 o'clock.
3
Yeah,
3 o'clock.
All right,
It's 3
night
PM,
time.
yeah.
We're gonna be with the Henry Wright show, the Spurs Corner, and then Monday night we'll be back on our own show, 8:30, and we're gonna be great to talk about Tottenham again because we'll be talking about the week ahead and Boxing Day fixture against Brentford away. Unless there's other stuff I'm missing still, that's what we're
Christmas
gonna be...
Eve, we're doing loads and loads of videos in a pub somewhere in North London with loads of us from YouTube that turn up.
Oh,
There'll be
that's
shit
gonna be a
loads of
great.
videos
That's
coming
gonna be a
out.
great. That's
Arnold
gonna be a
Really,
great.
Apparently.
really bad videos, really shit videos. Loads of them coming out. Christmas Eve,
Yeah.
check it out.
Coves, where can we find you next, sir?
Tomorrow after the England game, I'll be like directly competing with these two. Actually, 'cause I'll be on Sabbath Talks Football, and I think what I might do for a change is just log on to have a look what they're doing and just put in a. You'll start, giving them some shit in the channel.
But on Henry's channel, that is standard.
Yeah.
Those
No
toxic-
problem.
those
Same
toxic
sort of thing.
comments.
Same sort of thing. It'll be nice to just start concentrating purely on Spurs again for a bit. Won't it?
Yeah.
Get the matches to talk about, transfer window to talk about.
The players we won't sign.
we need Harry Redknapp online somewhere to just talk us through everything we nearly got. An 8-hour stream.
We could just do it. Ask him Daniel Levy questions, then he'd tell us all the fans what we already know.
I'm going to do a 1-hour show on how Jermaine Defoe's better than Harry Kane. I'm actually going to find out.
By the way, what are we doing predictions on tomorrow's game?
Fuck it.
Nah,
Yeah,
fuck
I'm actually gonna say 2-1 France. I actually think France will win. I want Argentina to win, but I think France will win.
Before we get our predictions for the game, Bob Jet, when can we find you next, sir?
Yes, Bob.
Yeah, I'm not streaming now till New Year's Eve. It's a Saturday night, so it's only fair that we stream New Year's Eve and see the New Year in during Wankety Vancouver. Fucked a donkey. Oh no, wrong show. Sorry. We'll be seeing in the New Year with Wankety Wank. Why not? So yeah, a couple of weeks, and we'll be discussing 2 Spurs games by the time that show comes around. So yeah, in the wall, 31st, 10:45, and yeah, let's see the New Year in together while wanking.
I love it.
Never
on that show.
I think this time last year, a lot of channels were all coming together as a community, and with Bob being in the coma and everything, raised £8,000 out of it. So I think it's time Bob goes back in for one.
Yeah.
Heal the wounds on the YouTube community and raise a bit of cash.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, it's a good idea. And make it an annual thing.
I've always said make an anal thing for a second there, Bob.
That's any normal
Don't say for a
Saturday.
second you were thinking about it
normal Saturday.
constantly.
Pretty normal.
Yeah.
That's every other Saturday, Danny.
Yeah. Are we doing a show? Are you doing Ask Us Anything on Thursday, Ben?
I think we're doing Ask Us Anything. Of course, the coffee company will be streaming Monday at 2 p.m. It is our Hanukkah special for anyone that likes to see a load of people eat donuts and talk about shit. So head over to the coffee company.
Literally.
It's what we're going to talk about. And yeah, it's going to be brilliant. But yeah, Ask Us Anything, I think, is back Thursday with me, Mr. Daigle, and whoever turns up from the Tottenham on Tour crew, being Danny, Ryan, Amir, whoever's around. Should be fun.
Good, man.
And before we go, predictions for tomorrow's final, guys. What are we predicting?
3-0 France. I really
Really?
got a bold feeling that France are
Wow.
going to walk this.
Walk it.
I want
Wow.
Argentina to win, but I agree with Danny. I want Argentina, but I think France will do it.
Yeah.
2-1 Argentina. I think Messi's gonna have the game of his life. I think it's that time. I think the stars are gonna arrive.
When does it ever plan out?
Or FIFA set it up so that Messi does win it.
Mate, if France can't get their team together because they're with illness and what have you.
Well, they're ill.
Yeah.
Well,
They've got flu going round.
It's a battle of,
Shit.
you know,
Have you read? They got nearly, I think, like both their centre backs are ill. Giroud is ill.
Shit.
Yeah,
Maybe they might lose then.
they've been hit. If you actually look, how many players
Lasagna gate.
No, it can't be lasagna gate. You wouldn't get the French eating lasagna, would you?
Snail gate.
God's legs gate.
Hashtag snail gate.
Snail
No,
gate.
chicken shawarma gate, surely. It's in Qatar.
hashtag Coquelin gate.
Shawarma gate.
Yeah,
Hummus gate. Hummus gate.
I think there's gonna be loads of goals.
All right,
tomorrow.
Amrabat.
I think it's gonna be an open final with lots of goals. I'm saying 3-2 Argentina.
Now saying, I might actually change my mind now. If France can't get their squad together because of the illness thing, that might be a massive problem. It's like us when we played West Ham, wasn't it?
Yeah,
we lost the game.
Look at Bryce's comment.
Bryce, yeah.
comment. Look at Bryce's comment.
I love Bryce. Brilliant.
brilliant.
It's probably one of those. That's actually one of those hipster wines, isn't it? A case of camel toe.
Yeah.
Bob, what do you think the score's going to be?
I can't work out if I hate Messi more or Mbappe, so I don't care, man. 4-1 Argentina.
Neither of them's a charlatan, are they, mate?
Why do you hate them? I'm just curious.
But Mbappe because he's too good, and Messi because I think he's a
I
pussy.
think I just misunderstood.
Messi's a pussy.
I'll make one prediction tomorrow. Romero's going to absolutely take out Mbappe.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait.
Mbappe will go off, and Romero won't play for Spurs until March because he'll get injured as well.
I would
100%. Romero's not coming back to Spurs. I'm telling you. Give it a couple of months. You know it.
If France win the World Cup, just make sure Hugo Lloris gets in the taxi. Okay.
He's been the best keeper in the World Cup, man.
He has been
brilliant.
That
He's been fantastic.
But you know what's going to happen though? Brentford comes away and he's going to have his
He'll have a Brentford game, yeah.
Yeah,
he's saving it. He's saving it.
He'll have his brittle wrist. Brittle wrist will be back. His brittle wrist will be back.
My life.
Yeah, the thing that's
Honestly, just one question. I know you're finishing off, but
Yeah,
honestly,
go on.
quick one.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you think Harry Kane's going to be affected by the World Cup miss
No.
at all?
Yeah, in a good way.
I think away games are going to be a problem because they're all going to the home
Everyone's
fans will
going to
get
be
this case.
on his back.
I think for a little bit, I think he will. But it'll be. I think once he gets that first goal, he gets a taste of that goal. I think then he'll be all right.
Start smashing them in.
I'm worried, man.
I'm worried as well, Bob. No, I'm worried as well.
I'm worried.
I think there's a lot of things he's got to process, and I think the only way he will start feeling like himself again is if he starts scoring and starts creating. If he does that quickly, like first game, then I think it'll ease the pain a lot more. But if it goes on where he's not scoring, the longer it goes on, the more pain he's going to feel.
It's going to go two ways, isn't it? Then it's either going to go the way David Beckham came back from the World Cup when he had the fucking season and a half. Ronaldo coming back, most hated, came back, killed it. Or he's going to go the Marcus Rashford route. Where it took
I think it's too experienced. He's got the experience. These guys were all young, you know. I think Kane's got the experience, and I think Conte won't let that. I mean, Conte will Yeah, I don't think he's he's
Iggy,
surrounded by the right people.
he's
I think.
surrounded.
North London derby penalty will bury all of this.
He's got the experience of losing a lot of Spurs. I mean, Spurs is the pinnacle losers, so he's got that experience. So he knows how it feels. So yeah,
what a disaster! You miss the penalty that keeps you in the game for England on the biggest stage, the World Cup, and your therapy is to come back to Spurs. I mean, what a fucking sorry case this is. Absolutely.
Yeah, players go back to City, they go back to Liverpool, they go back to
go back to Spurs, mate.
Go back to Spurs, mate.
He'll be having fond memories of that missed penalty.
Scott Carson.
And I guarantee you, the first attack will be a penalty at Brentford, and that's how it always starts. He will kickstart his season with a penalty at Brentford. I bet you.
Oh, where was the Matt face?
The pressure on that penalty.
If
he gets a penalty at Brentford, that's going to be. I
did guess the celebrity for Matterface.
I can't believe. I believe he said what he said. I can't believe he goes. We needed a Gary Lineker and we got a Chris Waddle. Fucking disgraceful. Straight after the penalty, as an Englishman,
who said that again?
In the comments.
Matterface.
Live on the telly. When he skied it, he said we needed a Gary Lineker and we ended up with a Chris Waddle.
He started
live just after he missed it.
He must be a gooner. He must be.
I wonder who that is.
Matterface.
Yeah.
The one right.
He ain't a gooner. He's Chelsea. I'm sure he's Chelsea.
No, he's Spurs.
He's a scumbag.
Oh, is he? Is he?
Okay. Is he Chelsea? Oh, yeah, there you go.
No, Matterface, ain't.
I thought it was Chelsea. My bad.
And on that very disappointing note, a very much a thank you from all of us at Tottenham on Tour. And hold
on. Before we go, we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas in case we're not back next week. I want to make sure everyone enjoys it. Get fucked up. Get ready for getting depressed about Tottenham again. And we love you all. Thank you for joining us tonight.
As always,
support the team, not the regime.
Big up. Levy out.
Levy out.
The phone's better than Kane.
Alex is deluded.